Right. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Cal, the creator of Savage Kingdoms role-playing game and Fire in the Head Productions, my little publishing company. These are my awesome players. And today we're going to play some Savage Kingdoms. We're actually playing, this is my live in-person group, actually, but I'm recovering from the plague, as I like to call it. COVID, I think technically I'm over it. Like I'll probably test negative tomorrow, but it was kind of on the cusp tonight. You could probably even hear a little bit of the leftovers in my voice. So we're playing online, and we're playing this game right here, Savage Kingdoms. Whoa, is the book, what is happening? Does it show up? All right, I'm holding it up to the camera. It's not working. Anyway, I was holding up the cool rule book, and the Savage East, the other book. That one is showing up. Never mind. Stupid virtual backgrounds. So anyway, I'll throw it over to Madison.
Hello, everyone. I am Madison, and I will be playing Abigail, the half-she assassin. Cool.
All right, and Eric.
I'm Eric. I will be playing Ivanovich von Mulov of the House von Mulov, the original house that created Moldavia. I am a bit of a noble, a bit of a vampire, and a bit of a noble, essentially. That is pretty much the best description I can give.
And a bit of a scoundrel.
Well, a little bit of that, a little bit of, I've got higher grandeur purpose in life.
And a bit of a dark secret.
And a dark secret and all sorts of things. Essentially, I'm a very complicated individual, as you will come to find.
All right, and Tate.
Hello, my name is Tate. I am playing Magus Rifkin. He's a Scythian warrior mage type. Carries a battle axe, loves to brawl. I do not have a camera, so you will not see me, but you can hear my voice. Thanks.
All right, and Duncan. Duncan is our new player. This is his first session.
All right, I'm Duncan. I will be playing Drago von Urik. He is a Malovian hunter. Quick background, he basically was caught hanging out with some gypsy folk in Moldavia and was cursed by his parents, though still maintains sort of a frenemies relationship with them, but really just wants to explore the world and learn from people. So,
right, from a lesser noble house to Moldavia
Correct.
nobles. This will be interesting. All right, so just a quick recap for everyone at home and for the players as well. So when we last left off, you were traveling, you as in everyone but Drago, you were headed north, or actually you were headed east along the Korvas River. Korvas in Moldavia means basically raven. So the Raven River, which is the main river that kind of runs by Transia being the capital of Moldavia. And you're on a mission for the Blood Disciples, a very elite order of basically the King's Guard of King Vladimir von Zurich, the current king of Moldavia. And of course, whispers go around that the Blood Guard are not as, or the Blood Disciples, they're actually known as the Blood Guard as well, are not quite as loyal as they used to be to the throne. They're almost like their own thing. So if you're thinking of a Knights Templar kind of vibe going on, that's pretty accurate actually. But most of them probably are still loyal to the throne, and legend has it they are all vampires, or at least most of them are. And that is why they are called the Blood Disciples. So you've been traveling with two of them, Wolfgar, right here, who is apparently tongueless. He doesn't speak, he's only grunted, and has about the manners of someone who grunts. Probably Scythian born. He has sort of blonder hair, and the name Wolfgar sounds much more Scythian than Malovian. And then Olga is her right here. She seems to probably outrank Wolfgar. She's a female Blood Disciple with kind of graying hair, not from age. It seems to be a little unnatural, or maybe she has a little touch of she blood or something in her. So that's where we last left off. Well, actually, we last specifically left off with you guys defeated the drowned ones, right? The Leshy. You were sailing down river. So Drogo, you would have been here for that because during last session you were an NPC. You're now a PC. You're now awakened, and you were traveling down the Corvaz River, trying to get to the Bay of Ravens, and suddenly on the left shore, these corpses begin to animate. They're mostly in the water. Some are kind of tossed to the side, but they're all swollen like the corpses of drowned men, some women as well. And they just kind of swam and dragged themselves toward the ship, or towards the boat rather. And instead of trying to flee, you guys just kind of stayed and basically fought them off and destroyed them. I can't remember, did you guys burn them, or did we literally leave off right there?
We let them drown.
Yeah, as we were killing them, they were falling off the boat into the water because they never actually got onto the boat. None of them actually. One of them grabbed the girl, the female blood disciple, and did some damage to her, but was unable to get her off the boat and was put down and sunk to the bottom.
Okay.
Now,
So
some were on fire, thanks to
if Magus is involved, there's always fire at some point.
Yes, and I was lighting them on fire too with arrows.
Yes,
now-
That's right.
And now
That's-
Magus does not have his pants up because I took a sash to do so.
That's right.
that's right. But I believe at least in my notes, the skirmish was basically over, right? They're either fleeing or been destroyed.
Yeah,
They were-
they're gone.
You were all dead.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They've all
Dead
dead.
again. All right. Oh, Glove is not here. Right up, but he's
Oh,
miniature.
I cannot control my character. Oh,
Oh,
I cannot control my person.
they have not signed it over to you. I see. Hold on. Do you like this guy for? I kind of like that guy for Ivanovich.
It's fine. He looks dark, brooding, and well dressed. That will
Yeah,
work for-
exactly. He has two swords instead of one, but that's okay. Maybe he just
Yes.
during the portrait he happened to be holding two swords.
That works for me. I have to
that's
use,
fine. You're rich enough to get another.
Exactly. Plus, you
Well,
were
I have
wielding a
two
long
swords.
sword at one point. Remember?
I do, but I have two short swords as well, and one of them is just
That
a
is
normal short sword. The other one is a fancy short sword. The one that I had to
Okay.
crawl inside the ice worm to get back out.
Piece of
Piece of that.
He's the man.
Good.
All right, it should be signed over to you now.
I will add my numbers to it.
But of course, yes. Yeah, health goes in the red.
Can you
Health in
remind
the
me
red.
that green is stamina, blue is
Green is defense.
Green is defense, blue is stamina.
And you
Gotcha.
could put both numbers in there with a slash. Yeah,
Yep.
blue stamina. Speaking of stamina, Magus is, well, would be tired, but he's able to suck it up because he has tireless feet. And Abigail's getting kind of close.
I love the horses, by the way.
And there's the horse. Yeah, the horses are
That's
all
great.
back. So as you can see, like I tried to describe it last session, it's actually a little bigger than it was last session, but it's really just a river galley, also known as a keel boat. Fairly simple, has a simple mast. There are 6 oars. So it is you can oar it, but it's also sailable. Your boatman, Drogo, seems to be familiar with the terrain, but not necessarily a gifted sailor. Is that about accurate, Duncan?
Yeah. I mean, I have no points in sailing, so.
Yeah. But he seems to kind of know where he is and aware of his environment pretty well.
Yeah.
So the bodies begin to sink away, some of them on fire. And Olga says, those were Leshy, I'm almost certain, but they will not trouble us anymore. Beware,
good.
though.
We should continue down the river and not stick around this water anymore. This water is not good.
Of course, but keep your eye out. Sometimes there are Sockeyes in the area. The river woman. They
Yeah, what
control the
the fuck?
Leshy.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that last time. That is the last thing we need. Speaking of last things we need, we probably should stop at the next village. Or
As you-
fishing village.
As you say that, this bard kicks in for a couple seconds worth of music. And you can see, and I might have described it last session, there is a small village on the south shore, still a good ways up ahead. You can see the lights glittering around a bend in the river. Probably just a small village. Drogo, Duncan, if you want to, Drogo, you can make a lore roll geography specialty. You might know
All right.
what this place is.
Du-du-du-du.
So specialties are, it has another +1 if you probably know.
Yeah, I don't have any specialty in that regard, but
Okay, right.
um,
6.
my
total.
lore is 9 total for lore, but
Okay. And you're from Northwestern Moldavia, so this would make sense. So you're not, if this is not a very notable village, whatever that's coming up, because you have no idea. You might have passed it one time in your life, but it was of
all right.
no repute, basically. Should we stop at the village or should we continue on?
I think we should stop at the village.
It is
Not our
important
plan.
that we stop at the village. That way the rest of the trip will go uneventfully, as it were.
And by the way, it is dusk. It is becoming nightfall.
I mean, we don't need to stay long. If we just step over at the village, maybe Magus can get himself a drink or a beverage. I can get myself a drink or a beverage, and we can go on about our way.
Very well.
Ja, das ist gut.
So Olga is looking at her wounds. Apparently she did get wounded by one of the,
I took a little bit of damage myself.
Wolfguard just kind of stares off into the water, expecting to see more of them rise out. But if you continue on downriver, you sail about a mile or so, so a third of a league or so. You kind of come around a bend in the river. The river holds relatively straight in this area, but like virtually all rivers, there are bends and curves here and there. And you could see the lights of a small fishing village. Definitely Malovian. The architecture still looks Malovian, confirming that you are in fact probably still in Malovia. The few people you see are mostly dark-haired, pale skin. Occasionally see some dirty blondes mixed in, but and actually everybody make perception rolls if you would. Perception skill rolls.
Ugh, I got 11.
Is there a specialty?
In this case, it'd be sight or rivers.
13.
Okay. 13. Also, you have -2 unless you have unless you're night sighted.
Don't have that problem.
That's right. So still a 13. 10 for Ivanovich. Drago not rolling very well
No.
in the NPCs. Huh. Neither one of them seem to really notice, or maybe they just don't care. Ivanovich and let's see, Magus, you had a. Hey, Tate, is Magus night sighted?
No.
So that's an 8 probably. If it's an 8, Ivanovich and Abigail, you guys can see just outside the village. It may be one of the villagers, but it's she stands out a little bit. I say she because she does not only look she as in female, but she looks like she as in race, as in elvish.
Exactly what kind of she? Dark she or a Luna?
Probably a Luna. You can tell she's a little taller. Her hair is more golden, goldish red than it is the typical darker for persuasion. And she's not tattooed up like the wild she would be.
How close is she to us right now?
She's just kind of looking right at you guys. She has these beautiful, sort of slightly tilted eyes like the sheep have, kind of deep green. She's just off right near the river shore, actually. So probably 20 yards from you right now.
Okay.
Ivanovich.
I'd like to spend a stamina to use my death touched skill.
Okay. You don't notice her unless Abigail and Ivanovich points her out.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I mean, they can point it out if it's what they want, but
Abigail will go to Ivanovich. You see what I'm saying?
I do, and I'm not sure I want to trust it. You know, it is not expected.
she slowly raises an elegant hand and seems to stare specifically at Ivanovich.
This is wonderful.
Well, she seems to know you.
Well,
One
that
of
does not
you.
make that a good thing in this. So I don't know very many she, and I certainly don't know that many women this far north on the coast. So
She kind of like leans towards him and whispers very softly, "Want me to kill her?"
it was, yes, actually, that would be a good idea, and then we wouldn't have to stop if I could sit down and have a little conversation with her just in private.
I do not know if it is wise to kill villagers for no reason, says Olga.
It's not for no reason. It is so that I don't kill companions. I mean, or perhaps, it's been a while. I know you find the hunger from time to time.
Do you? Indeed. Now she looks at the she female with a little bit of different regard now.
Yeah,
That
I
would
have.
be very tasty, I admit.
It has been longer than I have cared to admit.
What say you, Wolfgar?
Well, she's looking
August
at you
tightens
for
his
a
grip
reason.
on his battle axe.
She's looking at you for a reason, so I suppose we could find out what she wants.
At least we could talk. Maybe she can point us in the right direction of others.
Oh, Torben.
I hear her crying right now. She really wants our attention.
That's
Well,
anyway.
anyway.
Scroll. That's his soul screaming from inside. Right as you say that, Ivanovich, is Eric still there? Because I actually got rid of.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I am looking at the Roll20 instead of Zoom. Suddenly in your head, in your mind, I'm going to whisper something to you.
Oh, good. I like having head whispers.
And the Roll20, of course.
Careless whispers.
Ha!
Careless whispers. Good friend. Yvonne, how do you spell your freaking name? There it is. Okay. So, is there anybody at home watching the pause is I'm sending a
As he's
secret
typing this,
misspelling.
as he's typing this message out, Abigail will look at our newcomer, even though he's been with us technically. The one sailing with no sailing skills. So, what's your name?
My name is Drago. It's a pleasure to be here, ma'am.
The pleasure is all yours.
I mean, he hasn't noticed the woman on the shore yet, so he's just sailing down the road and down the river.
Okay. Keeping your eyes to, yeah, I mean, at this point, you would know that you wouldn't see the figure. She's
Okay.
not specifically trying to hide. She just kind of blended it with some of the foliage along the river.
Okay, so I can see her then.
Yeah, at this point, everybody sees her mongoose. So,
Okay. In that moment, I guess he seems then like a little distracted by her. He uses his death touch skill to detect undead within 30 yards of us.
cool. All right, you use your natural gifting for that. You focus for a couple seconds, cost you a stamina point because it does take some energy.
Yep.
And here I'll whisper to you, Drago. All right. And then her gaze just suddenly kind of turns to you.
To Drogo?
Yeah, to Drogo. Her gaze is very piercing. It's like maybe stories you've heard of the she, or maybe she's something else, but it's very, she has a very powerful gaze, but very beautiful and almost enchanting in a way.
So I turn back to Madison. Do you notice this woman?
Do I notice the woman staring at both Ivanovich and now you? Yes, obviously.
Boat is still floating by her probably at this point, but she's still just staring, seems more interested in Ivanovich and maybe Drogo than anyone else. or whatever.
Apparently, she seems to feel my corruption in my and seems to think that I should not go willy-nilly killing, which meh.
Oh, she's one of those. Or is that what you're just assuming?
Well, no, she somehow reached into my mind and spoke to me, and I did not appreciate that. I thought back to her that I appreciate her warning, but she can keep her damn business to herself. And I have not heard yet a reply. So maybe she can't hear my thoughts. Maybe she can just project her own.
Is she going to cause a problem or not?
She suddenly smiles
Most
when he
likely.
says that, and she begins to speak aloud.
Oh, good. She can hear me.
It sounds like it is Malovian. She has a decent command of it. So, since you have warned everyone that we have spoken through the mind speech, I might as well be open about it.
I
You
don't
have
keep
been
any-
warned, Lord, as you call yourself. You have destroyed many. Be careful who you destroy.
I only take what I need, and I take what I need when I need it. Don't take more. And I definitely don't take less.
And yet you have taken the lives of my friends, the drowned ones, you fool. And then suddenly her facade falls away, and you see a hideous-looking hag.
Oh, look at that. She isn't a special morsel after all. Guess I can't eat you, but I would be happy to put this little pokey stick through your face if you'd like to come closer.
Olga says, I should have known, Rusalka. It is the Rusalka.
Oh, well,
Kill it or get rid of it.
yes, we will kill it. She will come here and she will die.
She actually begins to flee as she kind of moves back into the shadows, into the foliage. What do you guys
Where are you
do?
going? Don't run away.
As she runs away, Abigail is going to shoot an arrow at her.
Very good
Okay.
idea.
All right, roll initiative. Initiative.
$12.
Duncan finally gets above a 10.
A natural 20.
Only because there's a +4.
No.
Modified 20. Where's Madison's character?
Look, I rolled a 1. Yay.
Great. Oh, you see, Ivanovich has a horse on top of him, apparently. It's Viseli. He's being needs lots of attention.
Ivanovich is just sitting back going, look at her run away, being a cocky ass, essentially.
Marcus
course.
All
right.
Unless he goes wandering into the woods.
What's new?
What is new, serious?
Yeah.
That is why you have us around. It is.
And the creature, the she lady or whatever she is, the Rusalka, as Olga is convinced, it's 18.
Oh.
So Abigail does react first, getting that arrow off.
So-
If that's what you still want to do.
Yes. Now, since she turned her back and I didn't raise my arrow until after she started fleeing, would that count as secret strike?
No, she knows you're there, and she hasn't really turned her back. She's actually kind of stepping back into the foliage very elegantly, almost how an elf would kind of
Gotcha. I
fade
thought
into
she
the-
turned her back to us. So
No, not really, but she is moving away.
that is fine. It doesn't matter how far she goes. I can hit her.
So no secret strike, unfortunately.
That's all right. I will try without it. And I'm going to do double shot on her just because I don't like her.
All right, so you knock 2 arrows, and they go zinging off.
You haven't even met her.
I haven't met her. I don't need to.
This is
Oh no! Starting off with quite a wonderful shot with a nat 1 for a total of 11.
natural 1 or 11. All right, so that will miss, but it's not enough of a miss to be a critical failure. Arrow the first arrow anyway, just kind of sails wide. And your second arrow, of course.
My goodness, Roll20 does not like me anymore. 16.
16 might be. She's pretty quick, has no armor, but she's very fast. Okay, find her defense. Okay, arrow actually just kind of nicks her. And that was just a normal arrow, like a steel tipped arrow. A normal arrow.
Yes, it's
Okay.
just a normal arrow.
So armor piercing 2, right? Yeah, actually, so you could have sworn it just kind of ticks her. It should have cut her like across the arm with the blade of the arrowhead, but it did nothing to her. So second action for Abigail.
Well, that's unfortunate. As
Oops,
it seems like the her
sure.
little children did not like fire, I'm going to I have a few tattered sashes left for flame arrows, and I'm still next to the lantern, so I'm going to prepare my next shot.
Okay.
If
Cool.
that is my second action, and I am done.
All right, Drogo.
All right. Drogo will also notch an arrow and fire at him. Her.
All
It.
right. Yeah.
That's better. 27.
Ooh.
Plus 10. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
I would like to also, if it's feasible, while doing this, command Radu, my raven, to follow.
okay.
Which basically is just a command for him to
Yeah, it's a free action.
hover above whatever creature I shoot at.
Okay. Well, let's do the first action. The arrow hits for, let's see, hold on. I lost her defense. And she has cover bonus and 16. All right, so step 27. So that does get her. It looks like it should have caused more of a wound than you would have assumed, but it still injures her decently. And then you send Radu off. She's not staggered by any means, but kind of close. And so you want Radu to follow her?
Yeah, just basically like, I don't know, like 30 yards up above her, or maybe 20 yards up above her. I'm thinking in feet still.
Okay, basically spotting her for you
Yeah.
as she begins to blend into, because again, it is getting dark and there's foliage all over.
And if you'd like me to roll perception for my raven, I can do that as well. He does have night vision.
Yeah, make a perception roll for him.
I got +5, so 10 total.
Okay. So at this moment, he does seem to see her.
Okay.
But you could just tell by his body language and the way he's flying, like right above. And Mongoose well, actually, Drogo technically has a second. Yeah, so in Savage Kingdoms, you have 2 actions. You probably know already.
Okay.
Only one could be an attack action.
Then, I mean, I guess I'll prepare another arrow to fire. I can fire just a second arrow in turn, right?
No, unless you have a
No.
talent to do so. Abigail can.
okay.
She has double arrow shot.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just prepare another arrow. I'm not sure how it works, honestly.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a free action to knock an arrow to pull
Okay.
up from the cover. And so you already
That's what
did a
I'll
free
do.
action with your Raven. So 2 free actions equal an action. So that's both actions.
Okay, cool. That's it.
Excellent. All right. So Mongoose' turn.
Hold action.
What, Tate?
I'll delay my action.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you can go at any point before the round is over. Oh, wait. Okay. So as Mongoose is kind of getting in a battle stance, kind of waiting, the Olga, the 2 blood disciples. Olga seems like almost just content in letting her just leave. But Wolfgar, the sort of more battle lusty of the 2, is just kind of like he's kind of grunting. And oh gosh, he doesn't have a crossbow. He pulls out a hand axe and like wings this hand axe at her like an idiot. And this is probably his only hand axe. Even Olga's like, Wolfgar, you fool, do not waste the equipment. Ah, shit. And it's terrible. It's a bad throw. It actually hits the water, like splashes in the water about 3 yards short of the female figure.
I give him a slow sideways glance, like, seriously? It was
Yeah.
lovely.
Even Abigail just like tries to keep it down, but she just can't help but snicker. She's like,
And then with that, since he probably wasn't going to do anything, but once he gets all this heat, he suddenly shape shifts into a bat. And right before your eyes, I mean, of course, most of you have seen it. Drogo's probably never seen this before. He's like, what? And begins to fly. Olga's like, Wolfgar, you fool, let it go. We are near the village. I'm not even sure, Sir Rizoka.
Oh shit, he is naked now. All of his shit fell off into the boat.
Yep.
Oh, how unfortunate. Abigail looks down at all this stuff and she looks at Ivanovich like,
Blood-colored armor falls to the ground. Probably at least exceptional quality. As the bat goes flying off.
Drogo just
Olga.
shakes his head. It's like, ugh, vampires.
Olga takes an action to knock her crossbow while she's shouting all of that. And then second action, she launches it.
At the bat? She launches it at the bat.
No, at the yeah. She got good thing she wasn't shooting at him because he just got a natural 20. Just
ah,
exploded at 20.
Yes.
wow.
She's like, well, he's being an asshole, so Wolfgar gets to die right now.
She knows the code of the Blood Disciples. They can only kill each other in approved single combat. Not that they all always obey the code of honor, but
Or to die in battle. At least that's the story that gets told when they get back.
sorry, I misshot. She shoots an arrow. The arrow flies true, just drills this Rusaka, whatever this thing is, right in the lower back, and that might actually kill her or it.
Ooh.
Yep, the creature falls face first on the ground and with it just laying there.
Oh, it's a shame.
Impressive.
Shot.
All these wonderful little warnings and sayings of don't do this, don't do that, and she collapses like a bag of rags.
Olga just very kind of like if it were a firearm, she would spin it and blow the smoke from the end of it. There, that is settled. Wolfgar, come back if you can hear me in your form. And you see the wolf like circling around. Radu's kind of confused too, like, wait, what just? And eventually the bat flies back.
We should stop at the village as we originally wanted to do, and maybe see if they have another hand axe.
Well, perhaps. I'm wondering if the body of the Rusaka would be of any interest in alchemy or anything.
Not
I
as
do not
possible.
think so. Let me make a lore roll.
Boatman,
I
I hear
shall.
you spoke with Abigail. Can you pull it to the shore so that we can maybe investigate the body of this thing?
14 lore roll to see if
Lore?
there's anything. Did you say lore?
For lore?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know much about Rusakas. This is probably the first time you've ever heard of them with that roll.
Can I
Gotcha.
roll
So
lore? Is that arcane or no?
It would be fairy for sure. Yeah, no, so not Archon.
Not arcane. Okay.
Not Arcane. Just right.
Just the regular lores without the extra specialty bonus. Nope, don't know shit.
No, I mean you grew up probably hearing a story or two, but nothing specific.
yes, I don't know what it is or if it provides anything useful for alchemy and such, but
They're not that far from the village anyway, so we could stop at the village, ask. Maybe somebody there would want this Rusaka's body, and then we just come back really quick, run down the beach and grab it.
We might have been spotted by the villagers. We're not far away.
Well, good. Then
It is
we are
fine.
not-
We're blood disciples. They will not bother us. You must get used to that, Ivanovich. You become one of us.
Well, it is
But
It's
you were
new
born
to
noble. I'm sure you're used to it.
I tend to get favorable treatment most places.
It's as she looks at Drogo. Boatman, I understand that you are highborn. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. From Von Urik is my family.
Von Uruk in the north. Near Rogue's
Yes.
Hollow. Yes, I've heard of it. Friend of gypsies? No?
He kind of like tries to avoid her seeing it, but rolls his eyes and kind of like sighs to himself.
Of course. I do like your raven, though. Is he trained?
Very much so.
About that time, Radu comes flying back to Drogo, and he drops something at your feet in the boat. Drogo, it looks like a shiny object that he must have gotten off the Rusaka.
Okay. I pick it up and examine it.
Okay, it looks like it's like a finger ring. It's like a ring, very small, elegantly shaped, definitely for a woman, and glitters a little bit. A
All right.
couple of gemstones. If you want to appraise it, that's a crafting skill roll.
Okay, sure. I got 8.
8. Okay, so it's not quite a. You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. If the little gemstones are glass, then it's probably only worth a few bronze pieces, but it could be worth 20, 25 silver. Not quite sure.
All right. So he tucks it into his pocket and
Rado just like you could tell he's like, treat, give me a treat. I brought you a ring.
he obliges. Just carries around a bunch of corn in his
Takes
pocket.
the dry fish or the dry corn or whatever it is that you have. He's a very good bird. Wolfgar. And about that time, the bat shifts back to Wolfgar's form, his somewhat muscular, Scythian, pale, undead body, scarred all over. He begins putting on the armor on. Kind of like Ivanovich, he has no shame. I mean, technically, he's a corpse. And
Yeah, Abigail just rolls her eyes, but she does look.
of course.
Of course, because of course. we were licking each other's tongues at each other a while ago, so you know.
Sorry.
No jealousy on my on my side. No, there was none of that. No hint of jealousy from Ivanovich.
Is something wrong?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
If you have something to say, then say it.
What I have to say is that I'm hungry. We need to stop.
Yeah, I assume the ship is still drifting, or the boat.
Yes.
So you guys are actually swiftly approaching like a dock, pretty poor wooden docks, not even a stone wharf, just kind of like wooden docks, marshy reeds kind of growing up all around them. And you see a couple of fishermen there on the docks kind of watching. They could clearly see you approaching. They might even have heard the shouting or whatever. They're just kind of waiting. One has a lantern.
I think stopping to rest would be a good idea.
Do you want to stay in the village for the night? Or are we just stopping to get supplies? And Ivanovich, you are mute.
Thank you. I lost my tongue for a minute. Ha!
Just like our friend.
Yes. I wish to have my my livery out so that they could see me as we approach. But yes, if we stay here for the evening, it would give everyone a chance to rest up. Anybody who may need it.
Very well. Olga says, Ivanovich, get rooms for us if there is a shit place to stay in this shithole.
I expect there to be a shit place in a shithole like this, but we'll get the best room we can.
I would not expect it. Perhaps a tavern at the most. And about that, you see the fishermen just kind of staring, and suddenly they seem to realize the blood red armor and all the horses and weapon, and they're suddenly kind of like, one guy kind of jogs off like, I don't want any part of this. The other two fishermen kind of stay there, a boy and his older father. The father finally speaks. Do you need it is late at night. Perhaps you should continue down the river. Besides, there have been dead things around, dead things that move.
We have taken care of the dead things that move on the river. They attacked our boat. We need a place to rest for the evening. Is there an inn or a tavern in this lovely little fishing village?
There is only a tavern, I'm afraid.
Only a tavern.
My good friend
Das ist
Vasil,
gut.
it's his place. But he let travelers sleep in the night. But perhaps you should move on. He clearly looks intimidated by you guys.
That's all I need.
Lord Ivanovich von Mulov, we will stay here this evening.
What's your renown?
Further.
Hey, what's your renown?
My renown?
Ivanovich, yeah. Since you named
9 at the moment.
9, okay. So he either doesn't recognize you or doesn't care, but very well. Follow me. I take care of you. Yeah. You have many people in small boat. You dock over there. There is no stock. There is no dockmaster to charge you. You should be fine until tomorrow. Come. I wait.
Very well. We will dock there, and we will meet you, and you will guide us to the tavern.
So
Oh, I have a
Drogo
choice.
just begins steering the keel and maneuvering the boat into the dock.
All right. So
Thank
Drogo
you.
finally gets his first sailing skill roll.
You could ask the brown horse to help. It's right over there.
Yeah, people with the oars, they can add a +1 bonus.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Grab an oar. Oh,
Pretty simple
Yeah.
maneuver. It's
Well,
only DL10, but
4.
a 4. So you can see Drogo. Is anybody helping with the, or actually
Yeah.
Wolfgar is on one of them.
Magus does the other.
So
Like
all right, so that's
before.
a +2. Drogo, so 6.
Oh,
All right.
goodness.
With Maugus's help and Wolfgar is enough to avoid like a major incident, but you just kind of like foolishly kind of spin the boat around. It kind of wobbles at one point. One horse almost goes over and kind of panics, and then you end
It
up
would
having
be-
kind of
The horse that
backfall
almost
the
goes
boat
over
in.
is Abigail's.
Of course.
Oh,
Have you
With
done
the
this
bull.
before?
This is what happens when you get the nobleman to do a commoner's work, says Olga.
Ah. Yeah.
Drago just kind of flashes her a fake smile and like keeps steering.
You finally back in. The fisherman, you can tell, wants to say something, but he doesn't dare say anything, as it takes you about 2 minutes to finally dock. That should have taken 30 seconds. Do you guys want to keep the horses loaded, or do you want to find stabling for them?
I suggest we find stabling, but that's just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
And is there a stable at that tavern,
Uh,
Mr. Fisherman?
Niet, no, I'm afraid not. But I have a place you can keep horses if you want.
Is it a safe place? Can we trust you?
Da, it is safe for, for a coin or two.
Oh, very well. We can accommodate that.
Of course, Bayandra, come. And yeah, Olga and Wolfgar are already leading their horses off. They're like, we ain't leaving our freaking war horses out here on a boat.
I take Vasily. Come, Vasily. Let us go.
Sealy follows you, trying to hold his head up all noble like. This is, yeah, kind of a crap hole. I mean, it's just a simple fishing village. You guess maybe 300 people live here, maybe at most.
That's a
No
big
inn.
fishing village.
Yeah, what? What, tape?
Ah, that wasn't me. I don't know who said it.
Oh, I thought somebody said something. So you lead your horses off. This gentleman, we'll call him, leads you through the quickly darkening village. A few lanterns and torches are lit here and there. You pass a couple of men with spears, probably just militia, guys that are old enough to fight if they have to. Don't see any real actual guards or Malovian soldiers here, despite not being that far from Transia. And the old gentleman sort of leads you with his son following him very quietly. This way, I take you to my place. I have a small stable inside. I keep goats and mules inside. Come, I show you. And you walk for like 100 feet to this little hovel at the north end of town, pretty close to the banks. It is
You
not
have
much.
tea.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Shall we say a silver piece?
We can accommodate that. I fish out a silver piece.
Okay. You can tell Olga and Wolfgar are not about to pay this guy anything.
Yeah, but I give him a silver because that's what he's going to get for all of the horses.
Yeah, that seemed to be kind of what he meant. He takes it and
And then-
bites the coin, and
I also hand him 2 bronze for the information about the inn and for guiding us. So he gets 1 silver for that, and then the extra 2 bronze.
Come, I show you to tavern.
Well, thank you.
Visir's place, come. And yeah, once you get the horses situated, they're really crammed. He doesn't really quite have enough room for them, but he kind of kicks his goats out and ties his mule outside in the cold. And
We appreciate the sacrifices you are making for us.
it is nothing, my lord. It is my honor. You come from Transia, no doubt.
No, we came through Transia on the way out this way.
You have look like a royal guards or something. I have noticed. I will ask no more.
No, it is fine. You can ask questions. I am from the original royal house of Molovia. I'm von Mulov. Long since not in rule, but I make my rounds and see how Molovia is doing from time to time. These are blood disciples of the royal guard. It's very nice for them to be joining us as we travel northward.
Kind of narrows his eyes, looks more fearful than he does impressed.
Yeah.
Wolfgar just kind of like at him, and he kind of flinches. Yes, well, I am just a simple fisherman. There is no need to rob me or anything. I take you to the tavern.
We will not rob you. You are a very helpful man, and for being helpful, you will be. You've been paid, and we appreciate your kindness.
Of course. And he kind of heads down a muddy path, and sort of in the not too far off the shore, within sight of it, you come to the only decent building in the whole village of hovels. Two-story building, very small. Probably the tavern keep stays at the top level. There's not
Abigail.
even oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Abigail turns to Magus. Do you think they'll have decent ale?
I hope so. I could use one.
You could always use one.
Well, that's true. It doesn't have to be decent either, but I would prefer it.
Wolfgar kind of nods to Magus, like, makes a gesture that he's like tipping a tankard back, and then he just kind of almost kicks the door, just kind of slams the door open, like doesn't care if anybody's on the other side of it. And Olga carries herself with a little bit more dignity. And inside the common room, there's about 12 to 15 people, villagers. You see basically no outlanders, no foreigners. Small village, but it is on a major river leading to the capital, so there could be foreigners here. You never know. But looks like mostly locals. Tavern keeper Olga just kind of walks right up. And
As does Magus.
Tavern keeper. She eventually gets drinks, brings back a tankard and sticks it in front of Magus. I am told that you like ale better than mead.
Ah, ja, danke. So good.
Probably comes from Scathia. That is
Ah.
where Wolfgar is from.
Even better, yeah.
And by your accent, you are as well.
Yeah.
When I was
born in
alive.
Scathia.
And that is where we're headed. So you have no problem that we assassinate one of your kind, not your kin. I'm curious.
Assassinate. I thought we were just meeting them for some reason.
As Abigail just
Kinda
kind of
looks to
leans and
Abigail.
Abigail just starts like sipping some mead, like in the corner, like not my circus, not my monkey.
I'm not sure anybody said this word before.
Oh, I thought we told you. Sorry, we should. have had
Sometimes
that
when you
conversation.
go meet an individual, they don't play nice, and then you must take matters into specific hands and directions. So,
Oh yeah, but that's different than
maybe they provoke. There's a lot of different things going on.
assassinate is no meet and then something goes wrong. Assassinate is go and that's what you do and you leave.
Well,
Hmm.
you know, there is that.
This is
Yeah,
news
it
to
is.
me.
It is nuances. Enjoy your ale.
Yeah.
Remember, Scythian, Mogus, this is secret mission, says Olga.
Oh, yeah. Secret.
This is a test for your friend, Lord Ivanovich. See if he will become a blood disciple. It is not easy.
It's not easy just to go up and kill someone.
There's far more to it than that, you simpleton.
Oh, that happens all the time. I watch my language in front of you.
She just kind of
Thank you
gives
for
her
the
a
ale.
glance. She doesn't say anything, but doesn't look intimidated. Unless you want to try and intimidate her. But you notice when you guys walked in and you're talking, like the crowd, it's like a Western, like an old West saloon. Everyone kind of got quiet. And a couple of people actually left. They saw the blood red armor and they were like out of here.
This place could use a bard.
The last place we stayed in the tavern room and slept had a wonderful bard until he tried to kill us.
Yes, that was probably my fault.
Well, it's probably all of our faults, but it was a fun experience to say the least.
It was, wasn't it?
It was quite enthralling or thrilling. It was wonderful.
Both.
I enjoyed
Both.
it.
Drogo, boatman,
Yes.
do you know how to perform? Do you know how to play? Do not expect you
Oh.
to be a skald, but do you tell stories?
No, not much myself, but my bird can do some tricks.
Ah, well, it's better than nothing.
Radu, dance for them. And he kind of like, you see him like hold his wings up and sort of strut across the table and like turn around, and I throw him like a piece of corn as he does so.
Make a performance roll for him.
So cool.
Quite fascinating.
Abigail, I could sing for you.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
can't
no.
roll any numbers tonight.
E7. E7.
Nice tonight, man. Roll20's being rough.
Yeah.
So the Radu, it looks, you think it's kind of cool, but he gets distracted and he ends up like grabbing some of the food that he isn't supposed to get from your plate. There's some bread and cheese that's been brought out to you, by the way.
No, okay.
He kind of squawks at and as he walks off, he leaves kind of a raven turd in front of in front of Mogos, and then kid goes back to his master.
Scheisse. What is it? Scheisse? Right. Ah, yeah. Take that.
Wonderful performance.
Olga grins. First time I've been entertained in many a night.
Drago kind of chuckles to himself and says, Radu, come, and he flies back to his shoulder.
He gets on the shoulder, on your shoulder, right as the tavern keeper comes over. Kind of a not a very tall guy for a Malovian, a little chunky, comes over. And what is all of this? Bringing birds, shitting on my table. What is it that you wish? My fisherman friend says you may need a place to stay tonight, yeah?
We would greatly appreciate a place to sleep for the evening to recover from our trip downriver up until this point. If you have a place, we would greatly appreciate it.
Wait,
Right.
you are with them? And he kind of like head nods towards the blood disciples.
Da, I am Ivanovich von Mulov. This is Drago von Urek, and these are our companions, and the blood disciples are with us.
Wait, von Mulov?
Yes, von Mulov.
There's still von Mulovs alive in this realm.
Some of us, yes.
I have heard, but I was not sure. Forgive me, my lord. Forgive me. I give you greatest pallets of bear skin and wool skin tonight. I'm afraid I have no rooms. It is not an inn, but may sleep near the fire pit if you wish.
I appreciate that. You don't have any wandering bards or minstrels that have decided to take residence in the inn tonight either, yes?
None that I know of. Occasionally we're surprised.
No, it is fine. We had a very bad experience with the last place we stayed in a tavern. So you not having one is a good thing.
Well, if you wish, my lord, there is several people I know here that I grew up together. They are skilled. He plays the dromo, which is, you know, the Malovian lute.
Yeah.
And she is a dancer, but I don't think she does it much anymore. But if you wish entertainment, that's better than the Raven.
Well, we don't need it. I was just making sure there was not going to be any surprises this evening.
Very good. How is the ale, by the way? Some of it is local and other is brought in from Scathia.
You'd have to ask our ale expert, Magus. He would know.
Scythian ale, good. Yeah, very good.
The tavern keeper switches to Scathia and yeah, do you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Scythia.
Scathia. Oh, my Scathian is good. I not speak it as well as Malovian.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Danke.
Yeah. Have Scathian travelers come in sometime. Good to learn language. Donka.
Danke.
He heads off, kind of nodding as he goes, trying to like kiss Ivanovich's butt a little bit. And moments later, you get another plate of cheese and bread that kind of comes out of nowhere. He doesn't ask anything for it. Some dried meats.
I basically nod in his direction as it comes out, you know, showing my gratitude.
Okay. All right. And to what you were mentioning earlier, Eric, make a perception roll.
Okie dokie.
Nice. Okay. Here, I'll type. I'll send you a missive.
So, Drago, they say that you're a noble. How did you end up sailing boats that, quite frankly, you're not exactly skilled at?
To be honest, accepting this job, accepting this job is honestly on behest of my mother.
Oh, your mother.
Yes. I heard that the Blood Disciples needed a guard to go with them and sail this boat. They preferred a scout. And my mother thought that I would be good for the job and recommended my name.
Drago has served us before, says Olga.
Yes.
The Von Zurichs are loyal to the throne, yeah?
Yes. Very much so.
Of course.
Very much so. How intriguing. I would like to do a perception to see if he's lying.
Okay. Perception, empathy, specialty.
I have no empathy specialty. I have none for myself.
No empathy at all.
19.
You don't need an empathy specialty with a +7. So correct me if I'm wrong here, Duncan, but I think you pick up, it seems to be the truth for the most part, judging by his body language.
Yeah, basically that, I mean, like the family that he's part of is very loyal to the throne. Drago himself doesn't really care much for rank and nobility, and he kind of he respects it as much as he needs to, but aside from that is not really interested in that sort of thing. So
Cool. Okay.
you get the sense that or I don't know, he gets along okay with his family, but is not super fond of them.
Yeah, since you got a 19, she might can pick up on that. About an hour later, eventually some music does start. The gentleman, the tavern keep, gets up and plays what's known as a droma, which is a Malovian kind of lute instrument. Probably the innkeeper sets up there, a tavern keeper. And that's the only thing that's really going on. A couple of fishermen are gambling at a table if you wanted to join them, but they seem to be kind of doing it amongst themselves. Not too much going on other than that.
Hmm.
So I don't know how
August
that
is
went.
tired. He'll finish his drink and find a place to lay down.
Okay. The for what it's worth, the lute player, if he's not an actual bard or skald, he's actually quite gifted. He does a wonderful job, and seems a lot of people know him. He's one of the elders probably here. Quite gifted, just on the single instrument. Doesn't really sing, he just plays the instrument a lot. And then eventually Magus, getting tired, finds a place. As it gets later, people wander off because almost everybody's local, so they go off to their homes eventually. And so another hour or so, there's only like yourselves and 2 people left.
Ivanovich is going to excuse himself. It is a nice night outside. I wish to go for a wee bit of a walk.
Well, Wolfgar looks at you and nods, and he actually stands up like he's gonna either go with you or go somewhere else.
I just nod back to him and I start walking out the door. I will be back in a little while. Save me a space on one of the nice pallets.
Olga just kind of gives you a look. Please be careful. The mission is more important than anything else.
I am always careful.
She just kind of rolls her eyes. And Wolfgar follows you out. So where'd your miniature go?
So Wolfgar is following him?
Yeah.
Okay. Abigail looks a little uncomfortable, trying to figure out whether she should stay or keep an eye on whatever that's going on.
Actually, to clarify, he got up when Ivanovich, but he actually leaves before Ivanovich does.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought he was following Ivanovich.
No, he like cued off Ivanovich standing up, and then he just as Ivanovich was saying that, he kind of went behind him and just exited.
I think maybe our friend Wolfgar has the same idea as I do. It is a beautiful night for a walk.
Ideas or not, let us be careful.
I'm always
Drago.
careful. We've established that.
Drago turns to a woman, I can't remember her name, and he says, "Will those 2 be all right?"
I would assume they will be fine. It will be fine, Drogo. The less you know, the better in these affairs. Shall we say? And she kind of smiles at you. And for a moment, when she smiles at you, she's got this look in her face, and you're like, for a moment, it's like she's kind of enthralling for a moment, and then you kind of shake it off, and she smiles a little bit. And then with that, she kind of heads off kind of to the corner to make herself a pallet to sleep in. The innkeeper or the tavern keeper drags out a few pallets of wolf hide, wolf skin, and there's even an Arctic bear skin that he has prepared for Ivanovich. Still trying to kiss his ass. And with the nice fur. And yeah, it's just down to the guy plucking on the dromo now, on the lute. So, what's everybody else doing? I know what Ivanovich is doing.
Drago is probably gonna at least step outside and just hang outside just the front door of the tavern for a bit to keep an eye on the other 2 as much as he can until they're gone, but then also just to be out in the open air.
Okay. Yeah, I got a little smoky in here. So when you it's like kind of the worst timing. So this is for Ivanovich and Drogo, even though Ivanovich left about maybe 5 or 10 minutes before. But as you guys step out into the outside, it was starting to get a little windy, getting a little cold. It is, remember, it is almost the winter solstice. Actually, that's in only 3 days. Malovia is called the Winter Kingdom for a reason. It can get pretty cold. And you could tell there's a biting wind coming in, and there's probably snow coming in. But the wind is really kicking up. I mean, almost like a blizzard. It seems like forming.
Fabulous.
All right, make a perception roll, Ivanovich.
Okay, and I also want to do a little stealthy. So which would you like first? The
Stealth.
stealth first, then a perception. Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, nobody
Low rolls, man.
pays too much attention. You had at one point where two guys with spears were like followed you for like 50 feet, and then you lost them, or they just didn't care and went a different direction. Then you find yourself alone, and all right, that you don't see Wolfgar around anywhere. You see the weather starting to it's turning a little foul, which means almost everybody's indoors. 11. Yeah, you see no one so far other than those two militia, those guardsmen.
In the militia, we're close together, like walking in pairs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while the weather is turning foul, Drago kind of like peeks his head in the door and says, "The weather is getting bad out there. I'm going to go after them." And shuts the door and starts trying to track them through the path that they took.
Cool. All right, make a survival roll, tracking specialty. You have it. All right, so Magus is probably laying down. Probably Abigail too, maybe.
All right, so I got 15.
Oh, nice. That's exactly the minimum what you needed. So you can see the footprints split off, and there is snow on the ground already, even before the storm. So you're able to, it is easier to track. One set of footprints you see go off, and then they just kind of vanish. The other pair, which you're pretty sure is Ivanovich's, kind of meander off to the kind of to the south of the village, and they go down like a little alleyway. I barely say alleyway because there's only like 40 buildings, and they're not really that close together, but anyway, some side streets. And then eventually, you're not being stealthy, are you, Drago? Not necessarily. Not really.
No.
Okay.
No, I hadn't. He hadn't thought to be stealthy at this point.
So after about 10 minutes, you suddenly see the cloaked back of Ivanovich with that cool-looking hilt of that cool-looking short sword he carries. And Ivanovich, you can see Drago behind you.
I see you have decided to come out for a nice nightly walk as well, yes?
Yes, the weather is quite bad.
For me, this is my home weather. It is nice. I enjoy it. I also do not feel the cold like other people, per se.
Yes,
You must be very cold.
Well, he's Malovian as well, but
Right.
no, I'm
And from northern Molovia on top of that.
doing quite well. But just wanted to make sure, it can be dangerous.
It could be dangerous. As of right now, though, I don't see that there are too many people out and about in this weather, which makes it a little safer. I'm not as fearful of a cut purse or a brigand in this weather as I would be if it were a nice night.
Why did you say that? You guys suddenly hear a "Ow!" and you see a black cat starting to cross in front of you, and it kind of arches up. It must have just noticed you.
Oh, look at the kitty cat.
Kind of moves back. It seems to be mostly intimidated by Ivanovich.
As you do your thing, kitty cat. No need to ruin your hunts for tonight. You hunt well. Find mice and rodents.
At that, it kind of bounds off through the snow. Looking back.
If I was after your prey, it would be far easier. Anyway, yeah. So, are you going to follow me now, or are you going to go back to the tavern? I will be there shortly.
I am here to serve. If you think you do not need me, then I will go back to tavern.
Appreciate your wish to help and being loyal to the Blood Guard like that. Or the Blood Disciples. I am good for this evening. I wish to talk with you later, though. I am fascinated that another noble is with us.
Speaking of, have you seen him? Because the Blood Disciples are not with him right now, right?
No. No, he's alone.
No,
Do
I
you-
have not seen where he went. Wolfgar, he took off after I went outside.
You hear the cat
Oh.
screeching again, played
And
by
if-
Torben.
So forgive me, did you say that I could, with my tracking, be able to see his tracks or no?
You saw one set of tracks fade away, and then the other set led to Ivanovich.
Okay.
You're so you lost her. They just faded away for some reason. He might have shapeshifted into a bat again, maybe.
Well, I guess I'll head
But
back to the
you didn't see
tavern
any
then.
gear laying on the ground though. So
Yeah.
all right, so you part ways with Ivanovich and head back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get back, correct me if I'm wrong, Tate, but Magus is probably laying on a pallet, snoozing.
Yep.
And
Correct.
Abigail, are you back yet, Madison?
Yes, I'm back.
Are you, sleeping?
No, she's not sleeping. She's keeping an eye on Magus because she does not trust
Anyway.
the other person with them. So she's making sure that he is or she is attacked at any
Okay.
point for a little midnight snack. So you just see her once you come back, you just see her fiddling with an arrow, cleaning under her fingernails with the tip.
Watching Magus. Olga's still at the table, kind of deep in a cup. She kind of looks up as Drogo walks in. Is all well, my Von Zurich friend?
Pardon me, what was that?
Is all well?
Oh, not sure. I seem to have lost your friend. His tracks faded into the snow.
Wolfgar, perhaps?
Yes, Wolfgar. Are you certain he'll be all right?
He will be fine. He is a blood disciple and a vampire. I might as well say it. You've seen it already.
Very well then.
But I thank you for checking. Did you find Lord Ivanovich?
Yes, he insisted he'd be okay.
Drogo, come. Sit down next to me.
Very well. And he walks on over and takes a seat in the nearest chair.
She stares at you again with that look, but you must do something for me. You must keep an eye on Ivanovich, as you have already done, but more so. We must check his loyalty. My captain, the blood captain Ivar, is not entirely sure of this von Mulov. This is a test that he is on. You must be my eyes as well as Wolfgar's. Understood?
Very well.
Then she takes out a 2 silver coins and presses it into your hands.
All right.
Just a little something. You notice when you touch her hands are very cold. I notice you wear gloves. It is cold out, but strange. Well, we all have our secrets.
Then he kind of like nods to her and like starts giving corn to Radu again.
Do I hear this conversation?
Make a perception hearing specialty
No,
roll.
I do not. That is a nat 1 for a total
Your
of
ear
8.
falls off. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you could tell they're sitting next to each other, probably talking, but
Do I not see the coin exchange? I mean, I'm not pretending to be asleep. I'm up.
no, not
No, I
with an
don't.
8.
Okay.
They're kind of blocked. They have you blocked a little bit. Weird.
All right.
And it gets later. And finally, the last person leaves. The guy puts away the loot, kind of nods to everyone as if some kind of quick bow, and staggers off. Oh, as he opens the door, there's like winds pelting. He like pulls his cloak hood up and heads off to his home, presumably. and it's just down to you, and the rolls are crap tonight. So Eric,
That
you,
is an
you have-
understatement.
wait, that could be a critical fail. No, that's not the crit fail. Close,
Thank you. Great. I love close.
but an entire hour of nothing is now, and the blizzard's like kicking in. And I say blizzard like it seems to actually be like it's really winds are pelting. You see the boats out there shaking back and forth. A couple of fishermen have run out of their huts to secure their precious fishing boats.
Yeah, I'm sure the building is shaking a little bit because of the blizzard. She turns to Drago. Well, you're the sailor. Want to make sure that our boat doesn't go off by itself.
Oh, and he kind of like nervously looks back between you and the blood disciple and is like, yes, it's a good idea. And gets up and starts heading out the door.
I'll help. Possibly. Maybe. We'll see. She gets up, takes all her equipment though.
Okay. And you're headed out to the boat,
Yes.
both of you. Okay, head outside. Hopefully you got good cloaks or furs because it's really cold and like ice and snow are lashing.
Yeah, she's wearing her fur stuff. She
Okay.
always wears her fur stuff though. She hates the
Oh,
cold.
that's right. You have the great wolf furs, I think, right?
Yeah.
The dire wolf furs.
Yeah.
So Drogo, do you have at least a decent cloak, right?
Yeah, I've got a cloak, and like a tunic and leather breeches and all that. And being Malovian, I got the cold tolerance. So
Okay, yeah. So y'all are good for now as you head out. It's just
But
trying to keep your balance.
even as we walk out, even though she's very like heavily cloaked, you see her teeth just chattering and she just rolls her eyes because of how much she hates the cold.
Drogo kind of laughs and goes, welcome to Malovian winter.
I hate your country. Let's get this over with.
You eventually get to the boat by that point. It's not that far. And you do see it kind of rocking in the water. Otherwise fine. But so what do y'all want to do? Just tie it better or bring it on the like dry dock, or
I think we should dry dock it. Possibly, maybe.
I agree.
Yes, just better secure.
Better
okay.
one.
So if you're going to do that, it's just the two of you, so I'm going to need physique rolls. It's a little hard for two people, but not impossible.
Is that athletics or
It's just going to be straight physique.
Oof. All right.
Mhm. We'll see.
All right, I got 10.
All right. Abigail keeps slipping, not getting a good grip. Drogo finally. So when you work together in SK, just so Duncan knows, you take the highest of the two rolls when you're working to the same time. So you finally get it dragged up and turned over if you want to even do that, so it doesn't gather ice and snow and rain during the night.
Mhm.
You managed to do it, but it's a little bit awkward. Took about 3 or 4 minutes. Madison, Abigail slipped into the water a couple times.
Oh
Which
no.
means, Abigail, you need to make an endurance roll.
No.
Resist cold specialty.
Oh no. Hold on.
I think those furs give you a +1 bonus.
It does. Okay. Oh, I have a resist cold, even though I hate it.
That's why, right?
All right. Well, no, it's for something else. So that would be a +2 then?
Whatever your bonus is, it's vigor, and yeah, and then you get another +1 bonus for if it's that special type of fur.
Right. It's 14.
You're fine. You're just cold, but no frostbite or anything.
She makes it a lot more dramatic though than it needs to be. As soon as she touches the cold, she like half shrieks,
My toes are all frost.
which she usually doesn't do, but when it comes to being cold, she does.
Drogo's probably thinking, we've been out here for like 40 seconds.
He has not seen me this entire campaign reacting to cold.
That's right. But you get the task done, and I guess you head back inside. Wind's still kicking.
As they get in the door, Drago walks over to the hearth and throws a couple more logs on the fire.
Okay. Tavern keeper kind of nods his thanks to you. He's still awake. He looks tired, though. He's probably been on duty for 12, 14 hours. I thank you, my friend. So it sounds like a full blizzard. The first of the winter. It's not even come yet. This is an omen, I am telling you, from Andorok, the Winter Lord. The winter will be shit. It will last 6 months this time. Well. What can you do?
Is his will.
Guess I'll offer another sacrifice tomorrow. Anyway. Good night.
Good night to you as well.
Let me know if you need anything, especially where is that I forget, the Von Mulov, Lord Von Mulov.
That's what I'm wondering as well.
Oh, well, very well. I just want to know if I could do anything for you. Very well. The rest well.
He kind of nods. And at this point, it's only been like what, 10 minutes since Von Mulov left the tavern, or
Probably 20.
20?
Oh, I thought it was longer.
Okay.
I mean, really? Yeah, probably about an hour.
That's what I thought, because you said an
Yeah.
hour.
About an hour, yeah. Hour and
I've
10.
seen my note, yes?
Yes, I'm responding.
Okay. So it's been about an hour. Drago kind of looks to Abigail and I thought he'd be back by now, and starts looking concerned.
Yes, he takes his time, and I'm not too concerned about him versus this weather, but still, it would be nice if he returned soon.
Olga removes her weapons belt and just kind of lays on one of the pallets.
I'll
Oh,
stay
don't
up
worry.
longer.
Do not worry of them. They will be fine. Let us rest. We have a long day tomorrow. Drogo, you will have to take us north of Vulcanport. You probably know this already.
Take
Probably
you
another
there.
day or two travel, I think.
It's true. You're probably right. Probably need sleep.
Very well. I'm getting some rest. She just kind of turns over on her side. But still no sign of Ivanovich. After about an hour later, though, you can hear the storm outside has subsided. Typical blizzard, they usually don't last much more than an hour. And
So there's another hour that goes by?
yeah,
Okay, Abigail, I was about to say, Abigail stays up, kind of just drinks some mead while she waits to make sure everyone gets back, but
there's the tavern keep left a couple of flagons of ale and mead on the table for you guys. So as you're doing that, you suddenly see the door open, the front door of the tavern, and it looks like in walks Ivanovich.
you just hear a sigh of relief when she comes in.
It's
Don't
good
know
to
what-
see you. Did you enjoy your walk?
I think I did.
You think you did?
Not quite fulfill my need as much as I thought it would, but
What?
I may have to do that before dawn.
She looks at Drago and then looks at Ivanovich, and you could just see she's like trying to like give you a signal, like, do we need to talk? Like,
I I think we should rest for the evening. I will get up early before sunrise and go for another walk and clear my head, as it were.
You just see her give you a blank stare like,
If I had any other way, I would take it, but I don't really have one right now. Sadly.
how much in need do you need this walk?
If we don't take the trip to Vulcan Spear port thing is like 3 days, right, Mike?
Yeah, 3 days total. Yeah,
We
so maybe
talked
another
about
2 or
last
3
time.
days from here.
Duh, so it will be touch and go if we wait until Vulcan's port. I would prefer to be at my peak before that happens. But you never know.
So I apologize. So at this point, Drago, how much does he know about von Mulov? I mean, obviously he knows that he's, you know what I mean, of the house Mulov and
Yeah,
pretty
well,
famous
if you
house.
want, Duncan, you could make a Drogo could make a lore roll versus his renown,
All right.
and which his renown is 9, right, Eric?
Duh.
So it's DL 30 minus, so a 21 or better. You would have to get.
Oh.
I mean, okay, so for starters, you've certainly heard of the von Mulov family. That's what gave Malovia its name when Malovia became an actual
Yeah.
united realm 504 years ago, 506 years ago. But some people, there's some rumor that the von Mulovs died out or were killed by the next dynasty, and then other rumors persist. No, they actually they're still around. But as far as Ivanovich himself, yeah, you know nothing.
Okay.
So, and this might be a good time to take a break as you guys lay down for the night. So, do y'all want to take, I don't know, 7 or 8, like a bio break, or take 5?
Take a couple of minutes. I'm going to go heat up a bottle for the little one in my lap so that he can eat and go to bed.
Hi, Corbin.
Not
Yeah.
happy about that.
So, reconvene at like 9:15.
Ah, sounds perfect.
Right.
All right. See you all then.
Okay.
I totally misspelled that. Oh well. Let's be. Stop the video. Oh, okay. So anybody watching this, the audience out there, as it were, we're going to take about a 6 or 7 minute break, and we'll be back for more The Blood Crown. I have returned. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Governor. What's going on, eh? Whatever.
What's all this then, eh?
I don't know. Whatever. Hey, it's a Tobin.
It's Tobin. Tobin's here. He's gonna
Wild.
play for a wee bit. He's gonna take over for Ivanovic.
The wild Torben appears.
That's right. Watch out, it's dangerous.
Hey, Torben, what's up? Is
Torben, can you
Ella,
wave?
Ella sleeping?
Say hi. Good job, bud.
Hey, Torben. Where's your sister? Sleeping?
She's at Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Oh, okay.
Because what I wasn't told was that Misha apparently had a wedding shoot today. And so she took the kids over to Grandma and Grandpa's house at noon, dropped them off, and wasn't going to be able to pick them up until like 10:30. And we were going to be gaming and they were going to be over there. And so when I said I was coming home early, because Torben has problems with sleeping, she said, oh, good, go pick up Torben and bring him home so that he can be in a better place and fall asleep at home naturally. So we don't have to wake him up and then move him.
Okay.
And so that's what ended up happening.
So that
So
kind of worked out.
yeah, kind of worked out.
Tate's back. Big Duncan's back.
Yep.
Just waiting on Madison. Excellent. Torben's gonna play Radu.
Ah, very nice.
Torben, can you make raven sounds? Can you make bird sounds?
Torben, can you make bird sounds? Can you be a bird?
Can you be a bird? Excellent. Okay, audience. So if you're anybody watching this, you see us just kind of messing around. We'll get started again in a second. I just want to point out that our Kickstarter made the Savage Kingdoms Heroic Adventures Kickstarter made as of a few hours ago. So we raised $2,661. So thanks
Nice.
to you guys who chipped in. And yeah, so we'll have this book of adventure modules and more critters and NPC templates, including this adventure. The Blood Crown will be featured in the book. She teleported in. So this adventure will be in the book. The Blood Crown is the name of it. Although we're kind of past the published version of the Blood Crown, and they're now doing things that aren't necessarily included in the adventure module.
Gotta write a part two.
Which I love. I know.
Have the NPC Ivanovic.
That's right.
Be great. Make me immortal. Oh wait, that's what I am already.
Wait, yes. In a stinking, rotting sort of way.
Eh, Immortality has its ups and downs,
That's right. We take the good with the bad.
or the bad with the bad, whichever.
It is. The bad with it slightly less worse. Okay, so we're back. So do y'all want to do anything else other than just get rest?
We usually take watch, so Abigail was going to take first watch since Yvonne wasn't around.
Olga looks like she's willing to take a watch as well. She doesn't quite trust her surroundings here.
That's probably best for her. Totally not planning to murder anyone. But yes, Abigail will stay up after that conversation and continue to stay up if Yvonne needs to speak to her or needs her assistance in anything.
Cool. Okay. It's a little bit before midnight when you finally crash, or at least sort of do so. And Ivanovich trying to get used to it. You still haven't, the usual night of like it feels at some points it feels like you're completely in a death-like sleep. Other times it doesn't feel like you're sleeping at all. Still
Da.
trying to work it all out. Since you put away a certain relic, none of you have really had any horrible nightmares anymore.
Oh, how wonderfully convenient.
And otherwise, the night passes by uneventfully, and you wake up around maybe a little after dawn if you're doing that usual pattern.
I will be waking up pre-dawn this time and going for a walk to see if there are any early birds catching worms.
Okay, so that's still enough to get a full sleep. So you got your stamina back. So everybody has their full stamina back now.
Yes, I just don't have any health back yet.
Stamina points, but yes, health not so good. All right, so make a stealth. I guess you're doing the stealth thing again.
I am going to do the stealth thing again.
Torben agrees. Stealth and perception. Is that Tate or is that Torben?
That is Torben making those noises. And then perception, you said.
Da.
So stealth first, perception now. God damn it to shit fuck hell. Sorry for the recording.
I have to edit that out. What the heck? Only 7 people watch it. So you managed to hide yourself pretty well. Nobody's really paying much attention as the village slowly becomes more alive. But you don't really see anyone that stands out. So the people you do exiting, going out to their fishing boats or whatever, they're all in groups. With
That's
that
my
roll.
character. Where'd my character go? Do you know?
Oh,
On Roll20?
is it under the?
You're under a tavern.
Oh, here it is.
That makes sense.
Never came out in the first. How
So
appropriate.
I will make my way back to the tavern then, grumbling a little bit that I really wish I would have taken care of this while we were here, but I guess that is not the way the fates are aligned.
I see Magus eventually retiring, owning a tavern.
Yeah, that'd be good. That sounds good. Yeah,
If he drinks all of his wares.
Make a tavern together.
he was brought
It'll
up
be
in
fun.
one, so heck, let's do
If
it.
he is my captain of my guard, I will buy him a tavern.
Call it the Fiery Fist or something.
Yes.
That's
Torben
good. Yeah, I like it.
returns.
I will buy Magus a tavern if he takes up the mantle of my captain of my guard.
He's intrigued, and we'll think about that.
So the taverner brings out food, and it's mostly just goose eggs and some leek soup and some nut bread. But it's not bad. There you go, my friends. I wished I had the better fare for you in the morning, but this should be good enough. The blizzard, by the way, last night put more snow on the ground, so just a warning.
Just wonderful. Wonderful country.
Yeah, we do not call Endrock the Winter Lord for no reason. Well, I wish you all well, unless you are staying another day or night.
No, we will
9.
be leaving soon.
9.
Very well. Donka, and good travels.
We appreciate your hospitality, but we must be going.
But of course. Olga just nods to him and stands up. Well, the sooner we can leave, the better. This place.
Agreed. Let's make our way to Vacuumsburg, and we will.
Valkenport?
That's the one. Yes. I tend not to put much effort into remembering names of places that mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
I agree. Although to the Scythians, it is probably an important place.
Well, maybe it is, but to me it is not. So Bickensburg and Port is fine by me.
Sure. On your way out, you meet Wolfgar, who's just kind of standing outside waiting for you. You just kind of.
Oh God, I hope your night was more fortuitous than mine.
He starts making some motions and pointing. And then he kind of like, this is a sleight of hand, so I'm not sure if anybody will notice it but Ivanovich. But he tries to kind of secretly hand you something, Ivanovich.
Okay.
Ew, my GM roll didn't work very well. Oh yeah, nobody notices unless your perception bonus is +9 or higher.
Mm-mm.
But it's a little scrap of cloth for some reason with some blood on it. He kind of grins.
This is very what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
He makes a sniffing motion. Yeah.
Okay. So I not stealthily but like nonchalantly bring it to my nose for a little bit of a smell. Good,
All
you
right.
are making me tempted more.
Perception smell specialty. Roll.
Yeah, I don't have a smell specialty.
So just perception.
Should.
I have not rolled better than a 10 yet.
Okay. You're not sure. You're like, okay, why? You could smell the blood on it. The blood does smell maybe a little unusual.
It's
But-
fancy blood, good for you.
Not, it's like he's trying to tell you something else, but he just kind of gives up.
You know, you should write it down next time.
He just kind of whirls on you and makes a motion as if to say, not important.
Okay.
Then he
hand
notices the
him
boat is turned upside down and start trying to help Drogo putting in the water. Does Drogo help?
Yeah, he's already sort of heading that way and trying to get the gear up and ready.
Okay. Oh, I guess you guys had to get your horses too.
Duh.
Olga will do that.
I will go with Olga. I do not wish any harm to the fisherman who gave us a place to put the horses and guided us to the tavern.
Okay. Follow her.
Yeah, I don't wish her to cause them any harm.
You walk with her. She just looks back at one point. An easy enough task by myself. What is it that you wish?
I wish to gather my horse. Vasily is very loyal to me. He may not follow you.
Ah, that is true. Or else perhaps you're looking to satiate your hunger?
I tried that last night and this morning and was not very successful. And then your good friend, Mr. Wolfgar, he handed me a bloody rag, which I still don't know why he did that other than to torment me.
You remember the creature, the Rusalka, the river woman?
He did what now?
You remember the river woman,
I do remember the river.
Rusalka? I
Duh.
think he found her corpse.
Oh, very nice. Did he eat it?
I can only assume. Wolfgar is his own man.
He's an interesting individual, that is for sure.
And then you get to the tavern keeper's hovel by then.
You mean the
Yeah.
fisherman's novel to get the horses?
Yeah, the fisherman's hovel. All in the back. He's actually up, kind of back there. Looks like he was actually like tending to him. He's like, oh yes, my friends. I tried to. Actually, I have not touched them. I did not know what to do. War horses, I am not used to feeding. I do not know what they eat.
That is fine. You did a good job keeping them safe from the blizzard last night. It is a good thing we brought them to you.
Yes, that was a freak storm. An omen, I am sure, from the Winter Lord.
I hope you did not lose any goats.
Yeah, one wanders off sometimes and he comes back.
Well, I mean, lose them as in they died in the blizzard. That is what I meant.
Yeah, if one is gone, then I would consider it a sacrifice to the Winter Lord.
Good point. It is too bad we did not bring our priest of Andorok with us. He would have given you a good blessing.
You have powerful friends, I am sure.
Well,
No priest
I
here. Occasionally they wander
another-
through.
I take another 2 bronze out and I hand it to him.
You are very generous, my lord. Thank you.
You've done us a good deed. Thank you, sir.
Of course, thank you very much. I would tell you to come meet my wife, but you're a busy man.
We are busy. We must go.
Olga grabs hers and Wolfgar's reins and starts leading them out, and you're kind of left with the others.
Yep, I got Vasily in the other two.
So they kind of follow Vasily, so you don't really need to make an animal handling roll. It's pretty easy stuff. And to get back to the by this point, I'm sure Drogo, probably with Magnus's help, Magnus is pretty sturdy to flip the boat over and put it into the water.
Storms flipped the boat, huh?
No, not quite.
Huh?
We dry docked it last night.
When?
In the night.
While you were sleeping.
Oh, could have woke me.
Well, you were just so peaceful at rest. I just couldn't.
Oh, thank you, Donka. I'll help you now then.
About that time, you see the Ivanovich and the two blood disciples, the horses appear, and I guess you guys get them all loaded up on the galley. They don't really like to go, but they obey you eventually.
Blaze, come aboard, Blaze. I figure you name your horse, I name mine now. Huh, Blaze.
What did you name your horse?
Blaze. I
what was
figure
it?
name maybe help ride better. Blaze, yes.
Blaze. Oh, like on fire. I like it.
Ah, thank you, Donka.
Don't
It's a
set
good
your
name.
horse on fire. He won't like you anymore.
He's supposed to ride like the fire, not be set on fire.
That is good. It is a good distinguishment to make.
Drogo, take us out of this shit place.
Hope he knows.
Very well. And he starts pushing away from the shore. I assume everybody's already on, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Everybody but Radu.
And
Pretty
Radu's
silly.
just kind of
Forgot
flying
how to
around.
fly. So you head off. The weather today is it's still kind of gloomy like it often is in Molovia, but it's not blizzardy anymore, at least. Actually very dark, still very gloomy. It looks like there could be another storm coming. Probably in off the Bay of Ravens, in other words, the way you guys are headed. And so downriver is taking you east, as you could probably see on the map at the top. That red square is where you guys are roughly. And Drogo kind of knows where he is, but he didn't know that village that we just had. And so Drogo, make another sailing. Let's see, anybody at the oars? Magus and
Yeah,
That's a good question.
Wolfgar.
yeah, I help.
Okay.
Wolfgang and Magus are the strong ones. It will be the Orman.
Olga,
That's better. 19.
Supervisor.
Yeah, the plus 2 bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
For them helping. Okay. Yeah, 19. So you navigate perfectly for the next hour or so, keeping in the middle of the river when you need to. You're dodging a couple eddies here and there. It's not that difficult, but the river starts getting, it starts opening up more, becoming almost like a small delta. And about 2 hours later, you suddenly empty out into this large bay. And Drogo knows that this is the Bay of Ravens, and Ivanovich probably would too. Legendary Bay of Ravens, and that eventually opens to the Dragon Sea. But so, Duncan, you're supposed to take the ship to Vulcanport up here. Now, this vessel, even though you don't really have any training in sailing, probably needs to hug the coast, but you could try the open water if you want. So what do you think your route would be?
I mean, given that, I think Drago is probably gonna hug the coast to be safe.
Okay. All right. So you take a left, basically headed north. And all right, staying close to the shore for the most part. Excellent. So y'all travel on. The wind is, let's see if your sail is even useful today. The wind is, oh, it's actually blowing north for the most part. So you're actually lucky. You can actually make pretty good time.
Nice.
Yeah, wind definitely kind of pulling you pretty, clipping along at probably a good 10 or 12 knots at times, which is almost too fast for this vessel.
Yay.
Based on your sailing roll, you did a pretty good job. All right.
Drogo is getting a little more confidence than he should and being like, I think I'm getting the hand of this.
This is not so difficult. Otto's like, he's your cautionist. Whenever you get cocky, he's that animal companion that always, it's like snappy,
Ah,
has to keep
I
you in
like the
check.
bird.
It's like the Disney animal that always seems to know more than the other character. So you head along the coast, keeping it in sight, making good time. The weather's crap, but the wind it's producing is kind of awesome. And based on your 19, good thing you rolled well for sailing, because you actually have to dodge a few ice flows. Like ice is already kind of formed in some parts of the shoreline. So yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge today.
I love
And-
Moldavia.
Whoops, sorry. What? I was talking and someone said something. I apologize.
I just said I love Moldavia. all the wonderful ice flows and the terrible weather. Moldavia, it's a beautiful country.
It is underrated, says Olga.
Yeah.
Of
We're
all
in the Bay
things,
of Ravens. It is a beautiful, beautiful body of water. This is.
they
Anyway.
call it this because on some of the islands, thousands of ravens will flock and lay their eggs. There is even legend that there is giant ravens.
Interesting. But
Let's
let's
be
hope we do
careful.
not run afoul of any of those.
They
No
can
pun
be
intended. No pun
territorial.
intended with the foul thing.
Ah.
But
What did you think, Wolfgar?
it's very, very loquacious. He is.
Drogo, you are mastering this vessel quite well.
thank you. I'm doing my best.
Just keep us straight and be careful of the storms. So you guys look all around. So it's water to your right. It's mostly the Bay of Ravens is very gray. It's very choppy today with the wind, ice flows. So again, good thing you rolled well on sail. This actually was a DL 15 sailing check. But the second part of the day, you got to do another one.
Oh no.
So you're about right.
Hey, same thing.
Cool. You keep her on course. Don't run her aground or anything bad happens. The wind does kind of peter out and change a little bit towards the end of the day. But other than that, not much happening. Except for about an hour before dusk. So you've been sailing like this hold for like about 11 hours today.
Oh, good. It's been 24 hours since we had our fight, so some of us would have gotten our health back. Correct?
Yes. Is anybody wounded still?
I am. I never got healed.
So yeah. Oh, no.
I never got
Gleb.
wounded.
You can tell Gleb's not here. So yeah,
Yeah.
you would heal one plus your vigor and health points. I know.
Yay!
Are you bad? Like how does he look right now?
No, so I was at 11 out of 18 possible. I am now at added 4 to that, so I'm now at 15 out of 18. So I'm not bad.
Okay.
You heal us
Okay.
fast.
So you weren't below half or anything.
No, no, no.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah.
That's why I didn't make a big stink about it. And I was going to eat something, which would have helped.
Mm.
For sake of like last session and everything, nobody has looked at his wound yet and like treated it in any way, or
They look kind of raw and open, right? Eric?
A little bit of, I don't even remember how I got hurt, honestly.
oh,
One of the sea creatures,
Was it the Leshy, maybe?
one of the sea creatures hit me or something. I don't know.
Drago says, "Would you like me to take a look at that?"
If you would, it is a rather old wound. It is mostly healing on its own at this point. But you can take a look if you wish.
So I take a look and I'd like to do just a healing arts roll.
Yeah.
You want me to sell a boat while you do that?
I mean, am I able to do that?
Let Magus take over.
Yeah, just to take the helm.
Marcus, you're
Yeah.
rowing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were sailing.
Where we're sailing
At this
wind.
point.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, you're-
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mostly wind power today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
12.
So Drogo, you look over Ivanovich's wounds. The first thing is kind of, because again, you're not probably used to this kind of supernatural stuff, even Malovia, but you can see that he doesn't really have any blood. What he does have, it's very black and congealed. And it's a marvel, like, how does he heal at all? Because it looks like the flesh is gradually stitching together. And the only thing you can really do at this point is treat for long-term care,
Okay.
which makes him heal twice as fast. But he's beyond really doing, you really can't do much more than that other than healing magic.
All right. Then yeah, I guess long-term care, including I guess like bandages and what have you. But
Yeah, you're supposed to tend to the patient like every hour and rechange bandages, make sure they get food, water, all that kind of stuff.
yeah. All right, so I just take some herbs out of my herbalist pouch and replace the bandage and
Very
say
good.
to him, is healing, but will take more time.
Well, this is, I'm quite impressed. You are quite handy to have around. And you picked this up with your family or while you were on your travels?
Oh, only travels. I spend a lot of time outdoors.
Wow, very nice.
Drogo,
Be useful.
says Olga, walking over. I suppose you have found out what Ivanovich is by now, and what I and Wolfgar are.
Well, you straight up told him what Wolfgar is.
It is
Yes.
easier to find out sometimes than to be told.
Yes.
But do not fear, as long as you are our ally.
Da. I
Defend
have
that.
no fear.
Wolfgar, however, looks at Drogo and just kind of like does this kind of creepy grin. Just ignore him.
He does that grin a lot. I don't know if it means what he think it means.
Abigail flicks her tongue.
He does it back with his nub.
She gives him a wink.
Very disturbing.
He just looks away, looking off in the distance. And as he's looking that way, by the way, everybody make perception rolls.
Especially sight.
Yes, sight or see specialty.
Woo-hoo!
Yay.
20. Oh, wow. Now we're getting some good rolls. 22, 23,
And 16.
16. Margus, this is 11. Had to be somebody.
Yeah.
BC's only got slightly better than Margus did. And all right. So off to out into the water, out into the bay. It's about an hour before nightfall now, right as you were looking at the wounds and having this discussion. And the wind has kind of died down, so maybe you are about to go back to oars, maybe. In any case, you see what appears to be a long ship, off into which, Viking style ship, probably Scythian, off in the water about a mile from you.
Interesting. It looks like we might have some local fishermen, or in this case, a traveling merchant ship, or maybe even a war vessel from Scythia moving its way this direction. Is it coming this direction, Mike?
It's headed your direction, but not necessarily towards you. It looks like it may be taking a deeper sea lane.
They're heading this direction. Well, we'll see how it plays out, but if they come close enough, maybe we barter for some goods or just wave and say, have a nice day.
And I say we do not get involved. It's
Yeah.
not our mission.
It's very
Although
true, but if they come to us, we don't have much choice.
I am tempted, though, for a better ship.
Yeah, nice.
Drago turns to Radu and says, Radu, scout ahead, and points in the direction of the ship.
Oh, he takes off.
Mm.
Headed
The
that
bird
way.
does what you want. That bird is your bird. It does what you say. Drago.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, that is also very
Das ist
handy.
gut.
You are very. It is very interesting to have met you. It is quite fortuitous, I think.
I feel same way.
Hmm.
He goes
You
flying
follow
towards
that
the long ship.
Wonder if it will bring back something shiny again.
It brought
Does-
back something shiny before.
I don't know if the other characters saw that.
I don't know. I don't know if it was subtle or not. Was it?
I think
It was, that was pretty noticeable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he just kind of dropped it, right?
Oh, that's right.
So
I
I'm
wasn't paying
whispering
attention
something.
because I could care less. But now I'm interested. If it brings back shiny things, that is an interesting trick. Anyway,
I wish I had a pet that gave me shiny things.
I will buy you
You
one
do.
one day.
Buy me what?
A pet that brings you shiny things.
Oh, really?
Or just shiny things.
I mean, either.
I could skip the middleman, I guess.
Yeah, you
But it's
could.
more-
Yeah.
I think it's more fun if it is unknown and a surprise. If the animal brings back shiny things, you never know what you're going to get. If
That
I'm
is
buying
true.
shiny things, you kind of got an idea. I will always have the same kind of routine. It's much more boring.
I don't know. I think you'd be able to find a way to make it entertaining.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Maybe you get both. Maybe you get an animal, and I'll bring you shiny things as well.
An animal and shiny things. Oh my.
Yes.
Maybe I'll get that pet rabbit I've always
Marcus can-
wanted.
August can bring shiny things too.
And look, we are all bringing you shiny things
Yeah.
apparently.
It is a beautiful
Oh
bird,
my
Joe.
goodness.
Very sacred to the Winter and Lord and Death Lord, whatever he is. And about this time, you see the black speck getting larger and larger as Radu returns.
And
Okay. Duncan, did you get my message?
yeah, Drago speaks up and says, I think it's best if we give this ship a wide berth.
Why is
I-
that?
I don't have good feeling.
You don't have good feeling. Did you get that from the bird?
This
I
bird
won't
is-
lie, yes, I got it from the bird.
This bird is
The
even
bird,
more
the
than
bird,
meets
the
the
bird
eye.
tells you it's a bad ship. Okay, that's not good.
Are you sure? Well, perhaps it is just as well that we avoid it.
Yeah, if a raven thinks something's bad, then,
Yeah.
gee, wow.
See, Magus is a very smart man. He knows what I was thinking.
They are wise, sacred to Endra.
Duh.
Oh, very well. I guess it is decided by a bird.
Duh. We avoid the ship full of men
Full of shiny things.
Ah,
and
good.
things.
I'll try to steer away.
And
Is best.
Okay. You could try to steer. They're not really headed exactly your way. They're like a mile, like they're gonna pass you, in other words, but they could see you. So do y'all care if they see you, or do you want to try to take cover with the ship, like duck behind
I do not care if they see me. I'm
Okay.
mostly cloaked and hooded anyway, so.
yeah,
It's
well, I
like-
meant like everyone as a whole, like the boat.
Oh, no, I'm not
Hmm.
going to hide the boat.
No, hey.
Okay.
It might be bad, but it's not that bad.
We don't have much of anything of value, so
And
It
it's a
would be-
dinky little boat. It looks like a shithole
And-
boat. So it's not like-
that's what I was about to say. Why would they want to come over?
And despite wanting to give him a wide berth, Drago is still curious.
All right. So no doubt you watch several pairs of eyes, no doubt watch the longship for a long time. And it
No.
eventually does pass. It doesn't seem at all tempted to turn in your direction. And it just makes its way. It seems like it might be headed to, well, it's really hard to tell, maybe Musalaf or something, but it just keeps going kind of south or maybe to this island. And then
What's really interesting is the magic that Madison is wielding. She's able to pull a drink out of the mountain and put it back.
Wait, what? What's happening?
You're able to pull your drink out of the mountain and put it back.
your unseen hands.
Oh, I know. It's a little trick that I've learned. I just grab it from the castle and then
That's
poof,
right.
it's here.
Quite impressive. Quite impressive.
I have an infinite ale for you, Magus.
Ah, that's so good. Like,
I wish.
me too.
We will find something like that someday, I'm sure. Just an infinite
Be
supply.
nice.
And I'll never leave.
It's about an hour later as some of this conversation happens, starts getting dark again. And no sign of any settlement on the shore yet. What do y'all do? Keep
We can't see
sailing,
Slavaport. Yeah.
no, I mean, if you want to make a perception roll and maybe climb up in the mast a little bit, might give you a boost. Can't really go too high in this map. There's not like a crow's nest, but you could go up in the riggings. You could get up about 10 feet higher than normal. If you do that, you get a +1 bonus in your perception rolls to see off further. It's falling asleep. Aw. All right, so
Good.
Eric needs to put Torben down.
I'll try that while he's doing that then. Climbing roll.
Nah, this is pretty easy.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just perception.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not dark yet though, right? Because I can't see in the dark.
not quite. So you got a little bit of red sunlight left. It's the great red sun sets beyond the mountains.
So sight and +1 for me up there.
Oh,
Hey, it's not bad.
cool. Okay. So you do see some lights ahead, Magus, on the shore, but you're not sure I mean, it could be Slavaport, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of lights. Maybe it's a smaller village south of it, maybe, or a castle. But you definitely see beacons burning.
See lights up ahead. Up the shore. Do we need to stop?
Very well. Do you think it is Slavaport?
It's not too many. No.
If
Just
so,
few,
we have made better time than I thought.
just few lights. I don't think big city.
Perhaps smaller village. There are fortresses on the shore as well, loyal to the Molovian king, as we are. Keeps going, yeah?
Unless
But,
someone needs to stop.
I don't think we need to stop.
If this village is close, I say we keep going.
You wish to sail to the night, I am fine with that, but my living companions may be less comfortable.
Does Ivanovich need to stop? But I must ask him.
If we stop at Slavaport, it is big city, almost as big as Transia.
I think I would rather personally stop at Slavaport if we do stop.
Yeah, yeah.
Just make it through the night. Maybe the rocking will help with sleep or not.
Yeah, that's good.
Very well, Drogo, keep on course to Slavaport.
Very well.
So you-
During.
What, Madison?
Oh, I was going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, so from that, about an hour later, you pass probably what Magus saw. Instead of a village, though, it does look like kind of a brooding black fortress built right on the shore, overlooking the Bay of Ravens, a very commanding black castle. It looks much more fortress than it does like comfortable living place. And then about an hour north of that, finally, Slavaport. Which is
What time would this be?
This would now be 2 hours after dark. Actually, an hour after dark. So you've been sailing for 12 hours.
Oh,
Is
goodness.
that like 10 or?
So anything more than that would be stamina losses, but you guys are
Okay.
good at this point, yeah. Because you mostly sailed anyway. Nobody really rowed a lot today. Rowed as in used oars. But yeah, a lot of big, you see big walls, beacons, big lantern beacons up on the walls, cauldrons of fire burning.
We have come across a large castle.
Yeah, stone wharf sticking off into the water. So probably well, you passed the castle. You're now at what is probably Slavaport.
Oh, we've made it to Slavaport.
You failed your roll, Eric.
What roll? What did I roll?
Torben to bed.
Oh yeah, Torben sleep. Yeah, he was asleep on my lap. I put him in the bed. He wakes right up, and I'm like, "Oh, good, it's great. He's completely not asleep now."
Oh.
He made his resolve roll against your beguilement.
Apparently, Well, anyway, he's still awake for the time being.
Do y'all stop at Slavaport or do you keep going through the night?
I would love to stop at Slavaport.
We should
Since we've been
probably stop
sailing.
for the night like we did at the fishing village and rest up and move on.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Slavaport is a fairly large town, yes?
Yeah, it's a city. It's not quite as big as Transia, but fairly close. You know a little history about this is kind of really the first real city in Molovia before Transia became the thing like 300 years ago.
Okay.
It's an old place. And the used to trail Slavaport actually means slave port in Molovia. So a lot of Korites were sold here as slaves after the war over a century ago. And you stop at one of the docks. There is a harbor master boat, a galley that kind of sails out towards you and guides you towards one of the berths. So this place is a lot more organized, big city. Lanterns lit up on the wharfs, on the docks. Harbor master comes out. Very well. How long do you plan to stay?
We'll just be staying the evening.
Forgive, blood disciples. I did not know you were coming.
We do not usually need to announce their travels. I am Lord Ivanovich von Mulov. I travel with the Blood Disciples this night.
Of course, of course.
A nice place to stay for the evening, and then we'll be gone in the morning.
Of course, I'm Harbor Master Ivan. If there's anything I can do, is this king's business?
We cannot say.
Very well. Well, stay the night for free. Then I wish not to get involved.
We appreciate the generosity, and so do the Blood Disciples, I'm sure.
Of course.
Can you point us in the direction of a friendly inn?
An inn, yes. Slavaport has 3 or 4 of the finest. The closest would be the Silver Raven. I highly recommend it.
We will go there on your recommendation, Ivan.
Of course, my lord. Good night.
Yes.
May Androck not find you this evening.
Or any evening nearby.
Yes, he kind of swallows hard. And you all, I guess, pass him. And
I take my horse with me.
take the horse. He was about to say, I take care of your horses if you wish. There's a stable nearby, the military stable.
Oh, very well. If there's a military stable, that would be very kind.
Allow
those
me,
horses
Harbor
are-
Master Ivan, to help.
Very well.
He kind of head nods to some of the soldiers to like, and they immediately start taking the horses off.
Yeah. And they can tell all the horses are war horses, so they're used to military stables.
Yeah. He's got 2 soldiers with him, and they. So if you guys are cool with it, you trust it with them, and they take the. Olga kind of gives Ivan sort of a sidelong glance, but intimidating look, but just kind of bows. Nothing will happen, I swear.
Well, you do realize what would happen if something were to happen to the horses of the Blood Disciples and their traveling companions.
Of course, my lord, but I do not wish to entertain the thought, but yes, Harbor Master Ivan at your service.
Very well. Thank
I've
you.
been at this position for 12 years. Nothing bad has happened yet. Well, except for, never mind. Good night.
We trust in your goodwill and your understanding of who it is you're dealing with. We appreciate your knowledge.
Of course, my lords. Let me get out of your way.
Yes.
I've taken too much of it.
Off to the silver, whatever it was.
Olga and Wolfgar are already just kind of walking by him. He pointed towards a building that apparently must stand out, and it is a building that's kind of up on a bit of a hill, and it overlooks the bay. Over the
Very
front.
nice.
Pretty popular place.
Would
Actually, a
remember the silver
3-story
part.
building. What? Sorry.
I just told Ivanovich you would remember the silver pot.
Well, you know me in names. I remember parts of them. You know, the silver.
Raven, everything's Raven here. Bay of Ravens, Raven Forest. It's all
The
ravens.
silver raven. Okay, fine.
When it's not Raven, it's Wolf.
Raven Mist. It's Yeah.
Wraithwood. Oh,
Wait,
wait.
you think all the woods in Malovia are the Raven Mist Forest? I remember now.
Yeah, like I said, raven everywhere.
Yes, I forget about that.
So
Oh,
you,
look, we found another Raven Mist Forest. No, that is just a bush.
it's the Raven Bush.
The raven.
The Raven Bush. You must have heard of the Raven Bush.
It's, there's the
But
Raven.
even the
Weed,
Wraithwood, they almost called it Raven.
Daffodil. It is what it is. How this works.
So you wind up this trail to get up to what that building is, and sure enough, there's a sign over the front door that has a picture of a silver-colored raven on it. For those
Very
who
well.
can't read.
Ah, this one's fancy.
I know, this one's very cozy.
The drink will be very fine here. I am sure. Be
Mm.
careful not to drink too much of it. It may leave you feeling a little bit off.
See?
Might leave you like that.
Tobin agrees.
I don't know.
Surely you jest.
I was told I need to try your Slavka a little bit more. Maybe I will.
Yes, the black Slavka.
Black?
Or the regular Slavka. Black Slavka is a little dangerous, but it's still good.
Dangerous. Oh, don't tempt me with a good time.
Anything that they diffuse Black Lotus into is usually fairly dangerous.
Mm. Well,
Now the Raven Slavka, that's
the
good stuff.
Raven Vodka. Maybe I'll try some. I'm feeling a little daring.
I commend you for the attempt at trying the Black Slavka. I will drink it with you.
Oh, really?
It has
Good, because you'll be paying for it.
Well, that is true.
So you head inside, and yeah, it's pretty bustling. There's about 30 people in here, 35 maybe. Pretty large common room, like you can see here. Nice rafters, three candelabra hang over the common room. There's even a side room that's probably a private parlor that you can pay extra for, no doubt.
I look around quickly to see if anybody stands out to what I would have looked for at the other tavern we were in. Anybody who is especially inebriated and having a hard time standing up.
All right, make a perception roll.
God damn it.
While he does that, Maga says, E7.
Oh, here we go again.
Just to
Oh,
see if
just-
anybody responds.
Yeah. From now on, he's just going to go into any tavern and yell at and see what happens.
Each of them. Lots of people stop and look, and nobody says anything, and they just kind of go back. A couple people raise a tankard to you, like they pretend like they know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be here, but you know.
You're looking for your dwarven friends, yes?
Yeah, always good time with them.
You did have a good time. I will give you that.
You need to get a bard to write a song about how you slayed the Isavan.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be very good.
So I
Then you would
hesitate
be
to ask.
hearing. Then you'd be hearing Isavan everywhere, if it was catchy enough.
Yeah, popular. Yeah.
I hesitate to ask, what is this Isa worm?
Oh, you're in for a story.
If I'm not mistaken, in Scythian it means ice worm.
Yeah. Das ist right. Das ist good. Yes. We had a run-in with one.
Did you slay it? Glacier worms, they are also called, I think.
Yes, we did, and it swallowed Ivanovich. Well,
Truly.
didn't really swallow. He decided to go in.
It swallowed a good bit of my accoutrement, and I had to go back in and fetch it back out, including this wonderful short sword by my side. I had to go back in and get it.
This is a beautiful blade.
Take a look at these, and I pull out my iceworm teeth. This is from them. This is from the worm.
That is from an Isa worm.
Yeah. Some teeth.
Interesting.
There was many teeth, but
Drago at this point is showing more interest than he's intending to, and sort of like leaning into the conversation.
Yeah.
Drago, see, look, Drago. His teeth from Isavin. Isavin, it was quite the time.
The
Mhm.
hide was also very nice, but we did eventually sell it.
Yeah,
To
very
destroy an
tough.
ice farm is quite a feat. Perhaps I have underestimated your friends, Ivanovich.
Yes, we tend to run into many people on our travels that underestimate us, much to their detriment.
You will fit right in if you pass the tests. The Blood Disciples will give you much power and prestige.
Yeah, the Wraith, Woodwraith underestimated too.
Yes,
Can you punch it in the face, if I recall?
it takes a brave man to punch a wood wraith in the face.
So they have faces. Wolfgar,
Well,
do you hear this?
Would be.
Hmm. He walks off, goes up to the board to order a drink, apparently. And eventually a serving wench comes around. Cute little blonde girl. Welcome to the Silver Raven. You have a few tables for you, or there's a place at the board if you wish.
I am Ivanovich von Mulov. These are blood disciples of the crown. We are here on official business, only staying the night. We wish a place to sit, to drink, to eat, and to sleep for the evening.
I cannot attend to that, but do you wish any drinks or something to eat?
That's what I said. We wish a place to sit and eat and drink, and then later to have a place to rest.
That last part will be someone else, my lord. Very well. Is there a table there, or you can go to the board?
Table would be fine.
Or do you wish a private room?
The table will be fine. We like to look around and be entertained by the riffraff and the people you have running about.
It would be much entertainment then. And she heads off as you guys get situated and brings a couple of tankards of ale. Doesn't even really ask what you want, just brings out a bunch of stuff for you to decide. Apparently not for free though.
Drago turns to Tate, who I'm assuming still has the ice fangs out, and he kind of holds out his hand and says, "May I see one?"
Yeah.
And he kind of like holds it in his hand and turns it around, just like looking at it inquisitively.
Yeah,
How big?
they're like they're definitely some kind of teeth.
Mhm.
You can make a lore roll if you want, if you know.
Sure.
Want to take them at their word.
I mean, he's happy to take them at their word, but 12. Oh, sorry, 14. Not
14, okay. Not necessarily sure it's from an ice worm, but it's definitely from some non-normal animal. Maybe shark's teeth is the closest thing they come to, but
He looks to Magus. He looks to Magus and says, "Oh, big."
Us?
Yeah, how big was it?
Oh, how big? It's Malonian, still not my first language.
It would swallow you whole.
Yeah, very large. How would you describe it, Abigail? I don't.
It was quite large. I fit in its mouth before I escaped, and it swallowed all of my gear.
Drago just looks like way too happy about this and, and says, "You must tell me more sometime."
Oh, are you intrigued by the fact that I almost got eaten, or about the unique animal that almost ate me? I'm not understanding your smile.
The animal.
Oh, the animal. Okay, yes, we will tell you more about the ice worm. This is a fun story.
Is a creature from your homeland. Not your homeland, Magus.
We encountered it on the edge of the mountains, just north of the Rogues Hollow, on our way to see the dwarves in Dwergo Town, or what it is called.
Dwergo Town, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Dwergo Town.
Dwergo Town.
Yeah, man.
No, whatever. Ballpeen Hammerville. I don't know what it was called.
I long to see places like this.
Well, you stick with us, we will
Yeah.
likely take you to a lot worse places than that.
Yeah, they are the mountains. Mike, do I have them in Scathia?
What now?
Do we have ice worms in Scathia?
Yeah, you've definitely grew up hearing a few stories.
Okay, but that's the first time I've seen one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Eric, Black Slavka is very rarely sold outside of a noble's like castle, but you actually find it here.
Very nice.
And the little blonde Scathian serving wench brings it back. This is what you wanted, my lord. Black
This is what
Slavka, yeah.
I'm surprised you had it.
It's
I'm
very
glad you
expensive,
did.
not very often asked for.
Yeah, most people don't have the stomach for it. That's why they don't order it.
I see.
What
So
is the price?
for a goblet, it is 5 silver pieces.
For the bottle?
The whole flagon is 20.
20 silver.
That's 2 gold, my lord.
I know what it is. You know who I am traveling with and who we are, yes.
Yeah, I told the innkeeper, he does not seem impressed. I'm sorry.
I will give you 15.
You see her looking up towards the innkeeper behind the board. I'm sure that's what would be fine.
Very well. I give her 1 gold and 5 silver.
All right, she takes it and leaves, comes back moments later with your fancy flagon of black Slavka. It has a black liquid in it. Of course, you've seen it before. It smells like regular Slavka, which for Duncan's knowledge, Slavka is basically just vodka, just the Melodian word for it. Generally made out of potatoes, but sometimes corn.
Drago, have you had this before?
Yes.
Ah,
But you've never
Yeah.
seen the black version of it.
No.
it's-
You've heard legends of it. You're not even sure it exists.
It's good. Yeah.
Oh wait, you're highborn. So you've probably actually had it a few times growing up, Drogo.
Okay.
It's usually only the nobles that have it because it's so expensive. But supposedly it has black lotus in it, and some even say there's blood in it.
Hmm.
It gives it that weird color. And supposedly it can, you don't fall dead drunk from it. It can actually invigorate you for a bit. So it used to be in the old days, Malovian warriors would often drink it before they went into battle. But if anybody wants to try it, let me know. If you take a big gulp or 3 sips, let me know. Because that's an endurance.
I will
What do I
drink it.
roll?
I will be drinking a glass of it, but I tend to not have any reaction, good or bad, from it.
What, Tate? Tate.
I will.
Oh, Marcus is going to drink, of course. So what I roll?
So you how much are you drinking? Like a good bit?
Oh yeah, good call.
All right. So it's kind of, there's a punch to it. I don't know if you would like it. Maybe you would.
Well, I had some at Lord so-and-so's.
Yeah, Von Glonovich's castle.
You don't remember
Um,
cities? I don't remember Lords. Lords.
It's pretty similar, yeah. And after a minute, make an endurance roll. So resist poison specialty or resist dehydration.
Drago will have 1 drink, but no more. Just to
Yes, Abigail is going to have some as well.
Okay.
Probably enough to have to make an endurance roll as well.
Yeah, basically if it's 3 sips or 1 gulp or more, that's when you have to do it.
Yeah, she'll at least take 3 sips.
All right.
Excellent.
Get everyone drunk.
All right. Yeah. So, Magus, you're fine. You actually feel quite good, and you have plus 1
yeah.
vigor for the next hour.
It's
Gonna be
good.
the
Yeah.
first, might be the first session all over again. We'll find out.
Oh, that's right. Abigail was like knocking her butt. Oh,
Natural 20.
was it 20?
Wow.
Roll it in.
All right, let's roll again.
I forgot what you get with a crit. Let me check it out.
40.
That's nothing.
40.
At least the 40.
40.
So that is a critical success.
Wow.
Let me look it up, see if you get anything special.
I hope so.
In the very least, you'll get
Only ever gets benefit from Black Slavka from this point forward and never has to worry about the poisoning.
That'd be awesome.
like Slovka. Oh, this is where you. Okay, so you enjoy a slight drunken buzz for a while. You and Tate. Actually, did Drogo roll? Yeah, Drogo roll 21.
21.
So yeah, Drago, you're kind of buzzed on like a high. You feel great. You get +1 to your vigor for the next hour. So critical success, Madison, you get +1 to your. No, you get a +2 boost to your vigor for an hour. I don't know if it'll
Alright.
come into play, but anything that's vigor based, death magic, and any other endurance roll. So your health is up by 2,
How wonderful.
but you feel great.
Yeah, after she takes the 3 steps, she's like, this is really good.
I see that you like it. Malovia is finally growing on you, yes?
Maybe just a little. Your drinks are fine. It's pretty good.
Very good.
Honestly, this is probably the best drink I've ever had, now that I think about it.
Excellent.
Ah, nice. Still not ale.
Mm, thankfully, it's not ale.
Yes.
Probably why I like it.
Good. Well, there's more where that came from as we proceed to continue on, yes?
Olga will drink some. She actually hands you 2 silver, Ivanovich, to help pay.
Well, thank you. I
Please.
appreciate that.
It is, I would pay more, but it seems that you can handle it.
Well,
Not like
maybe she,
Slavka since I was a girl.
maybe she heard that my purse jingled far less after I took all those coins out.
Yeah, exactly. And as you would expect, her, Wolfgar, and Ivanovich are unaffected.
Oh, you need money, Ivanovich.
Not quite
You
yet.
Oh, you need coin. Oh, right.
Abigail's
Donka.
Abigail's going to sleight of hand and sneak 5 silver into his coin purse.
Okay,
don't know
make a
if it's gonna-
sleight of hand roll.
Yeah.
What's your static perception? Oh, is this Ivanovich?
My static perception
Yeah.
is just my perception bonus, right?
10 plus your perception bonus.
So 15.
I
Oh,
just got 15.
yes. So the DL is 15. So she actually succeeded. So you
Nice.
don't notice until the morning, probably when you look through your gear, you're like, oh, there's extra coins.
Where the hell did these silver come from?
I have more than I thought.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything.
I now have 9 silver and 5 bronze.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that's all you have?
I'm
That's
richer
all I
than
have
you.
left. I have been buying everything for everybody for like
True.
5 campaigns.
No, I thought you had like hundreds.
On top of that, he's indebted to, who are you indebted
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, after when she
help-
feels
help
when she
Mortavia.
feels how empty it is, she rolls her eyes and adds another 5 silver.
He spends like
She spends everything on us. He's our sugar daddy.
he is.
But yeah, she'll sneak another 5 gold in there.
Like
I mean,
Like
not 5, not 5 gold, 5 silver. I'm not that rich.
Wow.
likes people
not that
think he's rich.
All right.
But yeah,
So you'll find that probably in the morning, I would assume, Ivanovich, or some point
Very
tomorrow.
nice.
And so far, I don't think you've found any what you were looking for.
Shit. Can I
But-
percept again?
Yes. Too bad vigor doesn't boost perception.
I don't have a vigor
Oh,
boost.
wait, you didn't get the boost. The other people did.
Well, it's better at least.
Okay. Finally, you see someone leave alone off into the night out the front door.
I put my hand on Abigail's shoulder and I whisper into her ear, I will be right back. And I quickly shoot out the door.
as he
I'm
leaves, she's
also
like,
trying
"Have
to be
fun,
as
dear."
quick as possible.
Okay.
Drago sees
And-
him leave and keeps an eye on him and starts trying to.
So you're
as
gonna follow him?
Roach leaves, Abigail is going to put a hand on Drago's shoulder. She's like, so I've noticed you have very beautiful eyes.
Yes,
Kind of, she's
my-
playing into the drunkenness a little bit to keep
It's-
him distracted.
It is probably at this point, Drago, that you notice that her eyes are quite purple. And
Okay.
her facial shape is a little unusual in a pretty way. Like there might be some elvish blood in there, she blood or something.
Okay. Yes, I was always the strange one in my village for having my eyes, but you have purple eyes too.
In she's going to say, are you like me?
And I don't know if Drago would know. See, it's like, oh,
You'd
I don't-
if you speak if you speak she,
Yeah,
you would understand.
he
what
does
she's saying.
not.
If not, you
Okay.
can make a language roll to see if you at least know what language it was, if you care to.
Sure. And said, sure, why not? There we go. 9.
Yeah, no idea. Some exotic,
This-
almost musical sounding language.
I apologize. I do not know that tongue.
She switches back to Melovian. Oh, it's fine. You don't know where you got them from.
No. My parents tell me that I had an incident when I was a child. I almost died.
Oh,
When I came back, my eyes were this color.
you came back from death?
Almost death.
How interesting. Can I make a lore roll to see what if she knows anything about that?
Yeah, Drogo, what's your renown, by the way?
3.
3, okay. I just want to see if she had a chance to know anything about you specifically. But that would be DL 27 lore.
Oh,
But if you want to, yeah, roll on like what he might be talking, like some like people that have purple eyes from a certain thing that happens, you can roll for that.
yeah, I'm not so much interested in him. I'm interested in how he has the eyes.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm screwing up
21.
lore a bit.
21.
Okay, you have so there's two things that come to mind lore wise. You're thinking, you're like, okay, he maybe have like a little bit of she blood he's not aware of, like from one side of the family. Or you have heard stories of people dying and coming back or nearly dying, and they have like a silver streak in their hair, white, and occasionally some people's eyes change. So it could be that.
How did you almost die? Die of what?
Oof. I prefer not to talk about it. Present company included. And he kind of like glances over to the blood disciples.
One is still away at the board, the bar, and Olga's
Okay.
still there though.
Olga's
Yeah.
still there or no?
Yeah, she is. Kinda
Yeah,
listening.
so
Well, if you ever catch me alone, you should tell us.
I very well.
She gives him a quaint smile.
Olga's just like, very interesting, these stories. I was about to listen to a skald about to take the stage, but I find this conversation more interesting. You do have beautiful eyes, Drogo.
Why don't you tell us a story? Story of the Blood Disciples.
I'm not much of a storyteller, Mogus.
Oh, I'm sure you have many, though.
There are certain secrets I cannot share, of course.
Of course.
Unless you want to do a persuasion roll to talk her into it.
I think mine sucks. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll give it a
Sure.
shot.
Karen just got home, so there might be some mild chaos behind me from rehearsal. She's going to try it.
Oh, yeah, real good.
See, doesn't really say much more after saying that.
Yeah, I'm not too persuasive, apparently.
Well, anyways, while he's away. Ah, interesting. Very interesting. Margus, have you almost died?
How'd it go?
Which time?
Which time? Yes, now that I think
All
about
right,
it.
sorry guys.
Among all,
All right.
yeah. Just on adventures, I believe.
Okay, so Karen just got home.
Yes. There's a few times I can think of.
Babe.
But
I
anyway.
look, Magus gets real close to you and looks in your eye. Did my eyes change?
Oh, wait, who are you talking to?
You, Abigail. Abigail gets real close
she
to
like-
Abigail.
She leans like right in, their foreheads are touching, and she looks into his eyes. Absolutely not.
Oh, damn. All right.
Why do you want them to change?
Why not? Purple eyes look nice. I think it'd be good with my blonde hair. Yeah.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. See? That should be very good. Or maybe I almost
Maybe
die
one.
again.
Maybe don't try go rushing into death just for an eye color change.
So you notice Olga's suddenly a little distracted. She keeps kind of looking up towards where Wolfgar went. Stay here, something is happening.
Oh no, he's going to ruin my buzz. She takes another sip.
She rises and heads over. And you could, yeah, as you take a sip, you can kind of see, you don't really need to make perception rolls unless you want to, but it's clear like something's happening around Wolfgar. Like there's like people sort of gathering, and there's like a gentleman sort of yelling at him something about this place is crawling with blood disciples in their red armor. And so Olga's like, great, and she starts heading over.
Oh, they're not popular. How unfortunate for them.
A few more people are shouting. Others are too terrified to say anything.
I thought everybody loved blood disciples.
Yes.
And then finally, very loudly, you see this fairly large Malovian man jump up on the table. Again, I tell you, this place is crawling with the king's blood disciples. They are vampires. I tell you, it is true. And some people are like, oh, they don't believe him. And others like, yeah. Duh.
Oh no, I think they're going to get the pitchforks and chase us out of town.
And then you see Wolfgar suddenly draw his saber on the guy. And the
good.
innkeeper's like, please do not draw steel here, my friends. No, take it outside. Wolfgar just starts like just kind of pointing the saber at the big guy.
Oh goodness. Not that I actually care, but this would be a bad image for us, and I want to sleep somewhere nice. So
Yeah, that's
Abigail's going to get up and she's going to stroll to where this fighting is.
Okay, sort of the other side of the room.
And
You know,
mind
like
you,
30
she-
feet away.
mind you, she has she does have her arrows still attached to her.
Your quiver's still on your back, probably. All right, got your bow. What's everybody else doing? Anything?
Magus, if he sees Abigail go, he'll
Yeah,
feels like he needs to
Drago's
protect her. So
kind of headed in that direction to
Not that she
try
needs
and
protecting.
calm him down as well.
What Abigail tries to
Okay.
do, she tries to slither up next to Wolfgar because he's going to cause trouble like he always does, and just tries to put a hand on
So
his
make a
shoulder.
stealth check. Stealth roll. Are you trying to sneak up next
Oh
to the
yeah, I'm going to. I want to startle him.
All right. Still,
You like-
she'll have to pass other people probably.
Yeah. Oh, I get a bonus.
But there's about a dozen people maybe involved in this shouting match.
A 25.
No, Magus even loses track of you. You kind of duck through the crowd, and it's like suddenly she's gone. And you appear right next to Wolfgar. Doesn't
kinda
even
just,
notice
like-
at first.
And she kind of just snakes her arm around the arm that drew the sword and almost like lean her neck almost kind of like into him.
Okay, really?
Yes, to
Oh,
get him
no.
distracted a little bit because she thinks that he fed recently.
All right.
Uh,
Hopefully that's true.
She doesn't, but also she's doing it because she doesn't like them.
Okay.
So either way it goes, she'll be happy. So
So
she'll be like,
you do it, you get next to him, he doesn't even notice, he tilts his head back. It looks like a couple of the people shouting at him kind of notice that you appear, but they look kind of confused. One of them is in the midst of saying, "That's probably his witch." And then he suddenly kind of looks at your neck and just kind of looks back, and he kind of shoves you to the side, not like violently, actually shoves you to the side, actually somewhat gently. And then he slowly puts his saber back in. And he just kind of looks at you, Abigail, and
yeah, she just stares at him and she's like, you should come sit down. We're having drinks.
somehow you manage to calm him. And then you see the big guy that's kind of leading this whole ruckus is like, "Ta, that must be his witch. You see the blood disciples, they are sorcerers and vampires. They have witches that serve them." A few other people are like, "Yeah, indeed. Witch, get the witch, get him out of here."
Oh, goodness.
Others, most people are trying to stay out of it. They're like,
What do you call her?
They're calling me a witch,
Which
Drago goes up
Hey,
to
you.
the blood disciple and says, "Perhaps it's best we left."
we paid for the night, didn't we? Or
No,
we have not.
food.
Ugh,
Paid for food and drinks. Not...
they're
Well,
only going to follow us and try to get us out of town, and I want a place to sleep for tonight.
Wolfguard follows you away. He's kind of confused. He looks kind of out of sorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just dragging him away from the crowd.
People keep shouting stuff. All right, Abigail, you feel something hit the back of your head. Seems like somebody threw some fruit at you. No damage. You just have
did I see it? Did Magus see it?
what's your perception? +3. It's 4.
Hold on, gotta wake my computer up. 6. I got a special sight. That'd be 7.
Oh yeah, you definitely see it.
All right,
Like witch, it's like a woman. She throws something at you.
She just looks at the woman.
You didn't really notice it. You just felt the pelt in the back. Of your
Oh,
Mug-
so I
mugs.
don't know who threw it. Okay, but yeah,
I'll
I
go up
turned in
too.
whatever direction it went, and she just shrugs and just keeps walking.
What does Magus do?
goes up to the woman. I advise you to stop.
She's kind of all right. Make a persuasion, intimidation specialty.
Persuasion sucks.
All this drama.
Drago is sort of backing up the rear now behind Allison and pulled out his bow and is keeping it down, but is notched an arrow.
Okay. All right. Oh, you are? Okay. 16 is your so the woman kind of stares at you, flashes her eyes at you for a moment, Magus, and then she kind of sees your weapons and your size and kind of backs away. But the big guy next to you kind of looks at you and he's like, "Pick on someone your own size, foreigner. You smell like a Scythian. Traveling with blood disciples, traveling with vampires. You're probably their thralls."
Would you like to find out? You can take it outside.
Very well. Wait, I do not trust. You probably have the blood disciples waiting for me in the shadows, changed into bats and demons.
You're a coward.
I fear the vampire. I do not fear you, you silly man. You smell like a woman.
You look like one, so we're even.
Several people start laughing, including one of his friends. He's like, "Ah, shut up!
Why don't
You
you
take
have
it
an ale?
outside."
Why don't you have an ale and sit down?
He was going to take it outside, but if you want to do persuasion to tell him to do that.
Oh no, I'll fight. I like to brawl. Let's go.
Oh goodness.
Make sure your red armored freaks stay in here, and your witch.
Don't say
Come.
I'll wait again.
What? Red armored freaks? A witch?
The last one, and I hit him.
Okay. Didn't even make it out the door.
Nope.
I was gonna say roll initiative, but he probably doesn't see it coming. Are you trying to be sneaky at all about it, or you just
Nope.
rearing back?
I just ran back and hit
Okay,
him.
so roll initiative, then he probably sees it coming.
Oh goodness. Bar fight. Love it.
Tavern brawl.
Oh man, not very fast.
You reared back a little too much. He's borderline inebriated, so he's probably not going to be much. Oh no, he goes a little faster. He sees you wind back, almost like he was expecting it, and he tries to headbutt you. He just like he's like this pretty tall, like 6'5". I know you're big too, but you're probably a little bigger. He's just a little taller.
6'5".
Yeah, you're about the same height,
Okay.
which is why the headbutt's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't mean to interrupt, but when the fight started, Drago put his bow away and started to pull out just a feather and a little pendulum that he kept in his pocket.
Okay.
And as soon as he can, he's gonna cast slumber on the two of them.
On both of them? Okay.
Yeah.
What, 2 targets?
Yeah.
All right, so Drogo very casually kind of drags out. What is Abigail doing, Madison? Just watching.
She's making sure the Blood's disciples get out of this. She trusts Magus will be able to handle himself, and if not, she's watching to be sure that nothing bad happens.
Okay.
But right now, it's just getting the Blood disciples to calm down.
You see Olga actually kind of grab Wolfgar's sword arm as if to say, and she shakes her head like very gently, no, like this is not worth it. And then Magus just got missed by a headbutt. So you easily duck aside.
Nice.
And Drogo, do you want to roll initiative to see if you can beat Magus's swing?
Beat a 6.
Sure.
Yeah.
Woo! Woohoo.
Yeah, you actually only went one less than the guy. So like a nanosecond after the guy misses the headbutt. Assuming you're going to do it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to give Magus a chance. So he starts muttering a spell. I wonder if anybody in here notices or cares. So by the way, Duncan, you can try to cast a spell without words or without gestures, but it's -5 to each.
Okay.
enough.
Since they're very clearly distracted, I just go ahead and cast it. I don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, most people aren't going to notice, and the few that do probably are not astute enough at magical arts, even know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah.
So make your magical arts.
I got 16.
Roll all 16. All right. All right. So Magus, you have to make a resolve roll against DL 16, and of course it is the NPC guy. See what Tate gets here. Ooh, lights it off. All right, so Magus, you suddenly feel like sleepy for a moment, but you're like, oh, you shake it off.
Slavka. Damn Slavka.
And the guy in front of you, you see him stagger doing the same thing, and then he falls right on his ass. He missed by 1. And this is kind of
Dang. It's already drunk. Didn't even get to fight.
It's kind of quiet. You hear several people like, ah, others like, yeah. Someone kind of pats you on the back, Magus, out of the crowd, like they thought you did it. Yeah! The Scythian, he didn't even, he struck a quick blow, look!
Fast. Can I say?
Abigail just does one of these claps at the table.
Magus looks at her and just shakes his head.
Two of the guys' buddies kind of push by you and grab him and they drag him outside, unless you guys want to prevent that from happening.
No, I
I'll
mean,
let him go.
Drago's not
Goodbye,
going to.
Tanael.
She's back to her Slavka. She's having a good night now.
I sit down next to Abigail. I didn't even hit him.
So that was
Must have been
4
drunk.
stamina points, Drogo.
Yeah, I got that.
She leans
okay.
over to Magus and she whispers, "Thank you for defending my honor."
Always.
Eat.
And she gives him a very genuine smile, a little nudge.
He
So
likes.
Oh wait, still getting messages from Eric here.
I have to say though, I'm curious what they threw at me. I didn't see it. Oh well.
The place kind of settles down. People are still talking about it a little bit.
It was fruit, and they won't do it again.
Well, if they do, it's good target practice, having a fruit flying in the air at you.
You feel your warrior braid being played with, Abigail, and you realize that Wolfgar is actually picking some of the chunks of vegetable out of your hair.
Oh,
In a
goodness,
rare act of niceness.
oh, thank you. I
It is
didn't
nice.
realize I had anything in there.
Well, that was interesting, says Olga. Well done, Magus and Drogo. She kind of looks knowingly at Drogo. Seems that we have another sorcerer in our midst.
What?
Oh my, and they were calling me the witch. Tisk tisk.
So they get for assuming. Actually, about this time is when you're right on cue as you're talking of witchery. Ivanovich walks into the door. He was only gone this time for maybe 15 minutes, but he missed the all the good stuff.
Oh well. I'm sure he had a good time.
I come walking back to the table. I feel much better.
So, as she's picking out fruit in her hair. And she's like,
What happened to your hair, Abigail?
"Oh, nothing to worry yourself with. Did you have a good stroll?"
Had a great stroll. Met a fine young woman that needed an escort home. I actually got her home alive.
Abigail kind of like gives you like, "What the hell?" look.
It turns out that I am getting better at what I do.
Huh.
Yes. I'm
You'll
very
have to-
happy with that.
You'll have
Huh?
to tell me all about it.
You nearly missed a tavern brawl. It lasted
missed the
about
tavern
3
brawl.
heartbeats.
Wait a minute. I look back at Abigail. Is that why you have food in your hair?
Seems we're not liked here, the Blood Disciples.
Who was it that put food in her hair?
Matters not.
Well, it matters to me.
It's
I
fine.
took care of it.
Ivanovich. Yes, Magus defended my honor.
Good man, Magus. I'm very, very happy that you stood up for her. Well, they can dislike us all they want. Does not mean shit. Most nobles get disliked their whole life.
Of course, the words do not hurt, but beware of the actions that may follow.
Well, anybody who takes actions against this group will quickly regret them. Or actually, they may not even get the chance to regret them. You know, you must be alive to regret things.
Indeed. Or at least unalive.
Well,
We leave this shithole in the morning.
duh. We will sleep here and then we will go. We must
So
find the
how-
proprietor and explain to him that his rooms must be shit if he has such shit for patrons in his inn, in his dining room, and that he must give us the rooms for free.
I will go take care of that.
Good.
And Olga actually, with that advice, she goes up to the innkeeper, and you can see several people parting now. They're like, okay, shit. We weren't the people yelling at you guys. And you can see a sort of dreading, mutton-chopped innkeeper talking to her. But let's
We
see.
should be careful this evening.
We will keep watch, as we tend to do anyway.
She comes back. We have rooms and stabling for the night. It was not free, but I talked him down to cheap price.
Good.
He's a man of integrity. I can respect that.
That is good. Very happy to see that.
He said there is a bard, as you say in the West, a skald, from the Emerald Harp playing later tonight. I've heard of this place.
Oh, that might be enjoyable.
They're skilled, yes, lore masters and travelers.
That will be very enjoyable. I will
See them in
look forward to
Malovias.
that. I think it would be good to stay up for that one.
Did we hear them before? Or is that another?
I feel like I ran into one. Oh, remember Tatiana von Glanovich? Lord von Glanovich's daughter, wasn't she disguised as an Emerald Harp?
Yeah. That's it. Okay.
As I was saying that, I was like, wait a minute, they might not have ever figured it out. Just gave it away. Oh well. But yeah, I
That's
think
all right.
yeah, she likes to masquerade as a Emerald Harper. So if you do wait around in the common room, because it's really not that late, people stay around after that little bit. They want to see if any more excitement. And then people break off and you find out in that little side thing, there's some gambling going on if you're interested in that. And then off in another part of the back of the room, there's guys throwing knives at targets, and they seem to be betting on the outcome.
Mm.
And then eventually a emerald cloaked figure with two of them actually come in, like a master and apprentice, and they set up this harp and they begin to play. And what's weird, the first song they play is called the Song of the Rusalka. And it talks about a river woman who lived by the river, and people thought she was this harmless old woman, and she actually lured men to their deaths, and she rose them from the dead as Leshy and commanded them.
It's almost as if we found that woman.
Hmm.
You might have to change the song.
Change
It's
the
probably
ending
a
at
song.
least.
This is probably a song that's been around a few hundred years. But they play that. Did y'all want to do the
Rusaka lives, so maybe it was the same one.
Let's be. Then the next song they go into a Malovian favorite, which is the song of Boris and Cora, which are the names of the two moons in Malovian lore, how they were lovers, and when they go apart from each other, it's sad, and every 7 years they rejoin and mate, because the two moons every 7 years actually do cross in this world, which is where magic becomes super powerful. So that they play, that's a short thing that goes on for a little while. So what do you guys want to do? Any of the other stuff, or just hang out and listen to the Harpers? They also bring news from around. They're kind of known, to be lore masters. And
I help Abigail pick whatever leftover remnants of food are out of her hair.
well, hopefully in the last hour that's happened.
Everyone's
most
just
of it.
picking food out of her hair. She's like, I think Wolfgar actually got all of it.
Ah, good for him.
Is that jealousy I hear in your tone?
I will not comment on that. Not when Wolfgar can hear me.
She looks at Wolfgar. I don't think he's paying attention.
Oh, good.
He's
Then
drinking,
yes.
looking off
A little
somewhere.
bit. A little
But
bit.
she does scoot a little bit closer to Ivanovich and kind of like, she said, so what do you mean by escorting this person safely back home?
When I caught up with her, I realized it was just a working winch and not a low life that would be not missed. And so I thought, wonder if I could simply feed without killing her, and then use my little talent of beguilement or enthrallment to have her forget what just transpired and send
Really?
her on her way. And so I did. And it seemed to work.
Huh.
My thirst has been abated. I feel a little bit more invigorated. And she is not dead. She'll be a little weak for a day or two, but not something that will take her out.
I'm impressed, but I thought the whole purpose of you going out and finding people was to become more powerful.
Well, that will happen, but that will take much more time than we currently have. I've already attained the next level. In order for me to be more like Gleb's companion, it will take years upon years of feeding.
Drago rolled to perception to hear all of this, but of course I only got 10. So
Oh, 10, not a 9.
yeah, I forgot my hearing
Oh, here,
specialty.
specialty. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear bits and pieces, but not probably enough to quite put it together.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need help finding lowlifes, let me know.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to lowlives. That's why when I heard about the tavern brawl, I thought, well, this would be a good chance for me to just finish one off. I'm already not very hungry, but what the hell? What's a little bit of seconds for a good night's sleep?
Yes, it was unnecessary. Drunk people just being cruel.
You know, those are the people that I don't mind feeding upon. Plus, sometimes I get a buzz depending on what they've been drinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little bit depends on how drunk they are. The blood carries that, you know.
Really? So if you were to drink someone that had black Slavka, you'd actually be able to have the effects of it.
Potentially.
Huh.
I'm not sure. But I would love to give it a try. But Black Tovka is expensive to just give to some jackass to get him drunk and then drink him.
Speaking of which, the effects are now worn off. The black slot.
As she takes another sip.
Yeah, unless you
as he says that, she takes
redo the
another
effects.
sip.
You still have about half the flagon left, actually. So yeah.
Yeah. Unless you are offering me to try.
I don't know. I'm actually curious, but at the same time, maybe not.
As you're talking, the Emerald Harpers go into a third.
We should,
Solid.
if you are interested, it would probably be wise to adjoin to a private room for that, not out here in the open.
Well, you said that you already had your meal for the night. I don't want to overindulge you.
For you, I would do anything.
She kind of gives him a look.
What? I don't understand the look. What? Did I misspeak?
Nothing. It's just, it's hard to understand you sometimes.
I can see that. I try not to be as forthcoming as most people need, because then too many things could slip out. If you speak in riddles, then people get confused very easily.
Speaking of riddles, Ivanovich, not to interrupt you and Abigail, but perhaps you should know that our Drogo here is more than he assumes.
How do you mean?
He's very talented. Shall we
What
say
did I miss?
Drogo perhaps can tell you?
'Cause We're
Drogo?
we're still in the tavern here, right? So
Yeah, in the common room.
he kind of looks around and I guess tries to say quietly that I have some experience in death magic.
Oh, you are one who can wield the magical arts.
A little bit.
It's very fascinating. We have another one. Magos is quite gifted in the realm of fire. If he has not already lit his hands on fire for you, he will soon.
Matter of time. How
Uh,
did you know he had this abilities? Yes, so I can't think of her name.
Olga.
Olga, yeah.
Yeah, the
Hello.
blood disciple. It's just certain words and gestures were spoken, and I have some training myself. Many blood disciples learn such arts, as well as alchemy, in addition to swordcraft and swordplay. We try to be well-rounded for the throne.
So good.
Only a fool would anger us. She says that actually almost deliberately loud, and she kind of looks at some of the other people that were involved earlier.
I chuckle. Very good. Very good.
With that, a couple gets up to leave. It's getting late anyway.
Drago, so the big guy was not drunk, was he?
Drogo kind of looks to Olga and then back to him. It's like, let's just say things are the way they are.
Spoken like a true Molovian.
Well, it's good to know that there's a little bit more magic on our side.
I just wouldn't know you tried it on him though, right?
I mean, you did feel that weird sleepiness, but you fought it off. So if that was anything to do with it, and you are trained in magic, so Margus is probably pretty certain that's what that was.
I am.
Some kind of
Okay.
mind spell, maybe slumbering spell or something.
I did feel something. Drago, I advise you not to do that again. Based on me. Trevor,
Very
you're not
well.
well. I don't appreciate it.
Very well.
Magus, take it easy. It sounds like he was trying to prevent a scuffle.
Precisely.
I'm sure he meant no harm to you, Magus.
How do I know?
Well, you don't. But now you
Exactly.
get to keep a good tight eye on him to make sure he doesn't do anything else
Yeah,
against you.
I feel.
So the Emerald Harpers finish their third or fourth song. They take a break. It's getting pretty late, probably an hour and a half before midnight. More people file out. Nobody really says anything more or even really looks over your direction that much as they leave. And
Very
so it's
wise.
down to you all and maybe 6 other people. Probably guests of the end, obviously.
Well, I think we have successfully proven that we are not going to be scared off. Why don't we take our leave and get our rooms?
It is time to return to the rooms, and you're right. Ivanovich, I have 3 of the innkeeper was able to give us.
Well,
So
you
next
and
to each
you and
other and one across the
Wolfgar
hall.
should share a room.
They're on the 3rd story,
I
overlooking
will
the
share a room with Abigail, perhaps, and Magus and Drago can share a room as well.
Drago kind of looks over at Magos and is like,
It would rest
Maybe-
easier to have just 2 rooms. Perhaps Wolfgar in one and I in the other.
Very well. Then Magus can stay with Wolfgar. They are Scythian brothers, and you can stay with Drago. Then Olga.
Very well. We have much to discuss, Drogo and I.
Very well. Are you
Abigail
okay?
kind of like looks at Malgus like, The look that only Magus and Abigail give each other.
Yes, he's giving the same look because that's not.
The
You
same.
can't see my
Um,
face right now, but my face is that way.
I don't know about that. Why don't you and Wolfgar share a room, Olga?
I wish us to separate the two blood disciples. I have spoken. I am going to my room. Come, Drogo. Unless you want to try to talk her out of it, Madison, with a persuasion.
No, he's just
I
gonna
just-
follow her.
If Drogo leaves with her, Abigail will like give a stink eye to Drogo. Like, I am going to make you regret this kind of look.
And in closing, as it's 11 o'clock, the last
shit,
thing, bit of a cliffhanger, as Drogo and Olga walk off being stink-eyed by Abigail, Ivanovich, suddenly that ring on your finger that
Da.
Tatiana has gifted you with begins to vibrate. And scene, and that's where we'll stop.
Shit.
Yep.
Scheiße.
Scheisse.
The scheiße.
Scheiße. That's what I should have yelled. Damn it.
Save the verb.
Why does he keep saying shit, Web?
Okay.
All right, so 4 experience points each,
Oh, and in the whisper.
1 per hour, and then so Duncan knows we whisper to me a who you vote for best role player for the evening, and that person gets a bonus XP. So those of you out here who are watching this, thanks for tuning in. We're just doing experience points. Savage Kingdoms, you just get 1 XP per hour of gameplay, and then you get a bonus point at the end if you get like the best, you get voted as best role player for the evening.
Sorry,
So-
how do I whisper again?
Oh, a slash /W space and then GM Mikey. GM will just pop up.
Oh, I just sent it to you through Facebook Messenger.
Oh, for Facebook. Okay, hold on. Or you could just Facebook. Let's see what Madison has done here. Right, excellent. Excellent. So, all right, okay, hold on. Oh, wow, it's gonna be close. All right, 4 votes, that would be it, right? Eric, you did yours?
Duh, I did
Okay.
mine.
2-way tie between Abigail and Drogo.
Ooh.
Woo!
So you both get 5.
5 for the night.
Wow.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Nice. All right, so Duncan, you get 5. Madison gets 5. Everybody else gets 4. And then next week we'll meet live, and we should have Matt returned. It's Glaive Ravenov.
Exciting.
Ooh, hot damn, I leveled up.
Hey!
Oh yeah, you were within like 4, right? Or
I was within, I was at 88. I was 2 away from
Oh.
the next level.
2 away. Nice.
Oh wait, so that's level 5 then?
Well, no, the
Or is it
90
level
puts
6?
me at level 6.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got not yeah. Duncan came in at 3/4 of the lowest. That's how it is done.
Okay.
Rules.
Pretty much everybody else is 5, and you're 4, and I just hit 6.
And Duncan,
Okay.
you'll probably find out in Savage Kingdoms, it's not quite as level intensive as D&D.
Okay.
Like the advancement differences aren't quite as big a deal. You know, a
Yeah.
little bit, but not nearly. Like D&D levels are like kind of a major.
Well, I could tell at least a little bit when you don't get like vast increases in health with each level.
Yeah, it's kind of. I designed it to where you start decently and then you kind of go slowly up instead of like the giant curve that D&D does.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
although D&D's, you know, first level characters start a little bit weaker, but so yeah, hopefully you enjoyed.
It will be fun for
Yeah.
the next week now that we'll be in person.
That's right. That
Yeah.
should be over the plague. Hopefully no one else will have it by then. Have it.
I'm not having any plagues lately. I'm not. I've had all my plagues for the millennium.
Well, cool. Enjoyed it, y'all. Nice to meet you, Duncan. Hopefully you
Yeah.
enjoyed as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. I think you fit
Love
right in. There's some good role playing in there.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
That accent. Great.
Yes,
Really,
not too bad at all. Really, not too bad.
I felt like I was struggling sometimes, but thank you.
It was awesome.
All parts of it.
It worked in eventually. That was
Yeah.
good. All right.
Very
Well,
exciting.
everybody who watched, thanks for tuning in, and check out Savage Kingdoms. And we're just little indie games, so give us some love. There's more games out there than Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, you tend to not go back to anything else once you've played this. At least I never did.
I still run D&D 5e, but it's for kids mostly.
Nah.
So the adults like the SK and the kids like the D&D. Actually, the older kids that really like SK. So anyway, good seeing everybody.
Cool.
Bye.
It's good being with everybody. We'll see you all next week.
All right.
See ya.
Bye. Good
Yeah.
night.
Bye.
Good night.
Later.